and judge you from the card castle. Comfort on Carmel in 1984. 3, 2, 1. Lights, camera, transaction, and judge you from the card castle. Comfort of America. Come on, come all into 1984. Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Lights, camera, transact. I am your guide, Nicholas. Since you have unwisely chosen the apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide, so take my hand, and I shall guide you through it all. And by the grace of God, may you not take the mark as you argue, debate, and pretend that this is all normal. And it's not the end. Unfortunately for you, 'tis the end. Whether you like it or not, whether you love Donnie or not, he's still the beast. And Leon is still the false prophet. So whether you love them, hate them, you best not worship them. Otherwise, your soul is forfeit. Good luck to all, and I commend those who have never endorsed the beast. You are those who have sought wisdom. Whether you have gone as far with it as I have, or as far in belief as I have, is not important. What is important is that you have never put your name on this. That is what is important. And what is most important, when the choice comes in the near future, and trust me, it will, that you make the right choice. That is also why I'm here, to help you make the right choice. Because I was telling you about this 10 years ago. That's how far ahead I am. Trust me. I shan't guide you in the wrong direction, unlike the beast and the false prophet. Shall we begin? Okay, people. Here we go with the shit show. I can't not look at social media for 2 seconds, because every time 2 seconds goes by, another abomination takes place, and I'm not even joking, which tells me these people know they don't have a lot of time. Leon Scum's private security detail gets deputized by U.S. Marshal Service. Isn't that great? Leon's private shady-ass security gets deputized by the United States government. Wow, that's a great use of our government authority and money, etc., just so Leon's security can be deputized. Chief Executive Officer of Tesla Incorporated, who is running Doge. Hey, wait a minute. Leon said he had nothing to do with Doge, 2 days ago, threw all them Hitler Youth kids under the bus. So I don't know if you want to run with this, whoever wrote this article here. He might sue you for that. And, let's not even ask the question, right? Why's Leon got a bunch of young boys following him around all over the place? Oh, this is him at CPAC on Thursday, and the sunglasses, the gold chain, as if he's just a normal gangsta, and a chainsaw. But we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that psychosis, that lunacy, that sociopathy. Here's Gunther Eagleman and Leon, and this is like yesterday or the day before. Gunther Eagleman, in case you don't know, I've had that cunt blocked for a long time. But Gunther Eagleman is a straight up right-wing grift / terror machine shill. All day, every day, he will say the most outlandish things just for clicks, just for attention. That's why you're supposed to block all these people that say things like, you know, Hitler wasn't so bad, stuff like that. Or they just say some outrageous statement like Donnie's in great shape. You know, they'll say just something so opposed to actual reality. And the only reason they say it is they know it makes people all upset and riles them all up. And they run to the page and they insult the shit out of them. And they do it day after day. And this person just smiles all the way to the bank because he's engagement farming, exactly what Leon talks about all the time when he's trying to shut someone down for no reason and call it engagement farming. That's what Gunther does every day, all day. That's what Leon does every day, all day. Even though he's the richest man in the world, he needs that validation for some reason. He's that pathetic. He always has been. So anyway, here's Gunther, the abject shill, not just a shill, the abject fucking shill. Zelensky doesn't want peace, he wants money and power, right? That's a statement that is just utterly opposite of reality. In fact, the one who wants money and power is the guy who responded, which is Leon Scum. And Leon just says 100%. Again, this is Leon Scum, an obese, pasty, beluga-shaped whale whose baby mamas have to go on Twitter and beg him to talk to them to handle their child's problems. And, you know, he's only got like $600 billion, so it's not like he can't just throw these women a bunch of money so they can handle the child's problem. No, he needs to have them under his thumb. And thankfully for us, the entire world got to see what a scumbag this guy is with these women, where they have to literally beg him to talk to them on fucking Twitter. Grimes has multiple children with this thing. And this is her thanks for it. She's got to go beg on fucking Twitter. Can you speak to me? Our child has a problem. I'm sorry I have to go in front of the whole world and do this, but you're a piece of shit, and I got no other alternative. So that's Leon. Again, the literal guy who wants to run the world. The literal guy who's named after people that run the world in a Nazi scientist fictional novel. That's what his father named him after. Really exciting, original, brilliant stuff we've got here. Not cliche Nazi rich kid at all. And that's what Leon is as well. Grew up in that Nazi culture in South Africa, in white South Africa, not the real South Africa. One more time, Zelensky just wants money and power, really, because all I see is a guy's got more balls than any diplomat, politician, world leader I've ever motherfucking seen. Because we all know what our American leaders would do if our country was under siege, right? Our American leaders would be in a bunker or out of the country in a secure location. Zelensky, again, was offered by the most powerful nation in the world, said, Zelensky, you want to ride out of there, man? He said, fuck off, I want bullets. I'm going to stay here with my people, even though I have a position of privilege and I could just get the fuck out of Dodge. Donnie shitbags wouldn't know nothing about that. Neither would one of you motherfuckers that support him. You wouldn't know nothing about that kind of bravery, son. And if there's one thing, the 7-8 years doing the Cornell stuff, what I was doing before, has taught me, is, Nick, you alone, son, in the physical aspect of this, ain't no one got the gumption, the will, the fortitude, the bravery to stand in front of assassins right next to you. Not one person. You know who I am? I'm Zelensky. Zelensky is me. That's why I respect that motherfucker. Because he had a free ride out, and he's in a position of privilege, just like so many of you people across this world. And the second it gets hot, the second you got to risk anything, you out. Forget about it. I can talk a good game, but when it comes to risking something, son, I ain't ready to do that. I've seen that countless motherfucking times, and especially in politics. Especially when it comes to elitist type people that have a little money and some connections and have something to lose. They the first ones out the door when it gets hot. And then there's the rest of humanity. They the second ones out the door. Then there's people like me and Zelensky. Very fucking rare on this earth, man. And you know what? Leon and Gunther should just go get their fucking shine box and shut the fuck up. Because they don't have 1/1,000,000th of the balls, the will, the fortitude, the goodness, the bravery of Zelensky. They fat, middle-aged, or old-aged, pasty-ass white men. They ain't shit. Leon couldn't even do a fake cage match with Zuckerberg. That's how much of a fucking pussy he is. Talking about how Zelensky only wants money and power, when that's Leon's entire existence from the time he came out of his mother's womb. That's all Leon ever was. I want money and power because no one likes me. And I want to fill my daddy and granddaddy's dream of you know, a Fourth Reich. That's Leon. He's Nero. He's the one who needs everyone's worship. How many countless douchebag sociopaths throughout history have we seen that are just like Leon, that are just like Donnie, and they dare state the literal opposite of reality, saying Zelensky wants money and power. You know, in this setup conversation between fake-ass Gunther Eagleman and fake-ass Leon Scum with 80% bot followers. That's how pathetic that whale is. So I guess one more, I should say this, I was about to say this. Straight up inversion of reality like this is literally of Satan. God hates that most of all. That's why the one sin in Scripture, and I don't give a fuck if you people want to hear this. You need to hear it, whether you want to or not. The one sin in Scripture that guarantees you end up in hell, or however this all ends, in the negative way, is blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, which is basically inverting reality and saying the Holy Spirit is of Satan. And you don't repent of that, you're done. Forget about it. Don't pack a bag because you ain't coming back. I've only heard a couple people say that in my life, and it sent a shiver down my motherfucking spine because I know that's the one thing you can't play with. That's what these men do every day, all day. That's what Donnie does all day. Inversion of reality. For an agenda, for Satan, literally. That's what they're doing. That's what that statement is, made by fake-ass Gunther Eagleman. That sounds like a real name, right, Gunther Eagleman? Right. And that's what Leon are doing. And again, his entire existence is literally this. Leon is all projection 24 hours a day. So when he's pointing, notice how Leon loves to call people pedophiles all the time? Remember, Leon's pure projection 24 hours a day. This whole setup conversation is pure projection. Leon is projecting himself on Zelensky. That's what Donnie does every day too. Donnie's doing the same thing. Projecting himself onto Zelensky. Because I'm sorry, I'm not biased in any way, and I'm not owned by anyone, and this is fucking reality. A fat South African daddy's boy oligarch who was born filthy rich, and an orange-faced, diaper-wearing con man who was born filthy rich are looting and dismantling our country. It's that fucking simple. And again, I don't care if you're in the cult and don't agree with me. It's still happening, son. And guess what else is happening, son? It's going to come to your motherfucking doorstep. How many of you are government workers and already lost your job and you voted for this? Don't you fucking feel stupid? And I see the trolls and cunts online. Oh, it's not that hard to find another job. There's a million jobs out there. No, there isn't, son, and there never was. Not since the 90s. Since a man named Bill Clinton was president. That's the last time the economy was really good and there was really jobs and there was really apartments to rent, etc., at reasonable prices. Since then, it's never been. It's just been more and more costly. That was the last time you could walk out of your house and trip over a job. That era is long dead, son. We in the H-1B visa era. We in the let Mexicans do all the work era. And again, I don't blame the Mexicans for coming here. I know where they came from. I try and leave too. My point is, corporate America is fine with it. They are the ones that have 3 million Mexicans crossing our border every day, and the contractors out here, and the farmers. Nobody wants to pay American wages. That's the problem. Not the Mexicans themselves that want a better life. It's the people that offer that life to them instead of Americans. Those are the ones to blame. All Donnie's hotels that have illegals working there, that's why they come here. Because of men like Donnie. Because of contractors that hire them. Because of farmers that hire them. They are the ones to blame as they complain about brown-skinned Latin people and say round them up and deport them all. I'm not in favor of that either. So don't get me fucking wrong here. I'm just giving you the corporate attitude. Leon's attitude. He loves H-1B visa workers. He hates hiring American. He talks shit on Americans' skills as engineers, etc. The Indians are better, according to Leon. And hey, the Indians just happen to work for like 1/3 of the cost. I'm sure that has nothing to do with Leon's affinity for Indian H-1B visa workers. And again, I don't blame the Indians for taking that opportunity because I know where they come from too. I've seen it. I know. I've never been there. I have no reason or desire to ever go there. They trying to run away from that and get here. What does that tell you about there? And again, it's not the people's fault. It's the government. It's their king's fault. Just like all the African countries, it's their king's fault. Their situation is what it is. Why? Because their kings want to live like the rich white man. That's why. The Indian leaders, the African leaders, etc. The Asian leaders, same thing. They all pimp out their people to the first world. That's what's going on. But anyway, the finding a job thing. No, jobs are not easy to find. That's why people, commit suicide when they lose theirs. Especially these days. No one wants to hire full-time. No one wants to pay salary. No one wants to pay benefits. Those jobs are in high demand, and there's about 3 of them out there, and you all know it. Stop lying because of your bias. And again, you people that are trolling from other countries in favor of this and from this country, it's not going to make your situation any better. You're not on the winning team. In fact, you're on the losing team. You're going to lose big time. And it's going to cost you way more than you're prepared to give. And I don't give a fuck what you say about me. I'm fucking stoned, motherfucker. None of you people matter to me. This is urgent time. This is alarm time. And I'm doing this out of the kindness of my motherfucking heart and because I work for somebody. That's it. I don't get jack shit out of it. In fact, it costs me. Big time. In many ways. But I know the urgency and importance of this moment as so many of you fools troll and debate and just be that hand of Satan, boy. It's kind of amusing to watch you all do it. Because I know where you end up. And when I say I know. It's certain. So I'd be real careful if I were you. And again, I don't give a fuck what you say about me, whatever lie you tell. I am stone, and I am guaranteed you are not. You have a date with the lake if you take part in this in any motherfucking way and do not repent sincerely before you take your last breath or before that end moment comes. And it's coming. It's described like this. Normal society's going on. People are getting married. They're doing this. They're doing that. And then it's over. It happens. Too late. None of this, oh, I'll start being nice when I hit 45. I'll stop being an asshole. I'll stop being a hand of Satan. No. Too late. That's what's coming, man. So whatever, spend your I'm not blocking people. I'm not deleting comments. I'm not even paying attention to the fucking chat. Never. Because it doesn't matter to me anymore. It's all over. There's no need to debate, no need to argue, no need for me to pay attention to trolls or give a fuck what they say about me. You know why? Because it's all going to get erased. Not in the 1984 kind of way, in the permanently eternal way. As if it never was. As if you never were. Like I said, you were dead before you were born, lest you turn away from this. So, you know, spend your last moments, your last minutes in this play how you want to. Have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Because that moment when it's too late is coming real soon. And no, this ain't the guy, you know, the guys you've seen over the years for 40, 50 years saying it's coming soon. And not, you know, not knowing what the fuck they're talking about. This is the time it's actually coming soon. Otherwise, I would not be doing this. I feel the urgency every day. I can barely sleep. And that's not coming from within me. That's coming from out there. Anyway, let me get back to this dystopian nightmare that you people love so much. Keep trolling for it. Keep trolling for it. I'm sure it'll work out well for you. Musk Malls sending all Americans $5,000 checks using Doge savings. Well, Leon and the Hitler Youth and others are starting to see that the public sentiment is torches and pitchforks. So Leon's doing what he always does. Put your hopes to the future. He does it with Tesla every day. It's the only reason the stock's where it's at. He just keeps lying about a thing he's going to get done in 2 years. Every time. It's the same lie. Over and over and over again. Same thing here. I'll just say maybe it'll get $5,000 checks. That'll calm them all down. That'll make them like me. Well, the second I saw this, I knew no one was getting a $5,000 check, or at least not the entire tax-paying populace in America. No, that's not going to happen. Why? Because Leon and Donnie and others are looting your country. They don't want you to get $5,000. They don't want Forest Service people working. They don't want FEMA working. If you don't see the writing on the wall, man, I don't know what to tell you. And, you know, let's say they did give us all a $5,000 check. It's the same as last time. People in Congress, Republican congressmen and senators, mostly, got millions of dollars. Some people got $1 billion, depending on what company you ran, blah, blah, whatever lie you told. You got a $1,200 check. That's a scam, son. All of us were scammed. And we were all so desperate, of course we took the money. Even all the people out there, I hate socialism. They cash that motherfucking check so fast to get their kids some food, their car payment paid, etc. Are you kidding me? They don't believe in anything. You put a check in their face, they cashing it. If they were willing to live their creed or they really believed it, they would tear that check in half and say, I don't want that socialist handout. And when I hit Social Security age, I don't want that socialist handout either. Because you get more than you paid in.
I wouldn't call it an entitlement, but it's kind of like a 1/4 entitlement or something. You do pay into it, but let's be honest, you get more back than you pay in. You know, and again, hire your own personal police force, your own personal fire department, etc. If you don't like socialism, don't cash your Social Security check. Don't even, apply for it. Don't apply for Medicare, Medicaid. Live your creed, man. Would save America a lot of money, if you were living your creed that you're spouting online, because that talking point was given to you in 1945 to your daddy, and then he said it in front of you, and now you're saying it. Or actually, that'd be your granddaddy, probably. So you're the second generation down or third generation down of a parrot. That's all your family has been since 1945, thinking they were enlightened. Look where you're at now, all you good little parrots. You're parroting for Vlad now. Literally. And Donnie and Leon ain't hiding that they all about Vlad. So much for that Russia stuff was bullshit, right, guys? So yes, no one was getting those $5,000 checks. I knew that because Leon and Donnie are dismantling America and looting it. And it's obvious they ain't even hiding it. And that amount changed later with the $5,000. The next day, the story turned into, well, Leon never quoted a figure, and now it's at $700. So your check went from $5,000 to $700 in a matter of hours. Leon got $440 billion of your money in 2 days via 2 contracts. So again, when you compare the greatest welfare queen of all time, Leon Scum, who just got $440 billion in the first month of the presidency. You didn't get a check in the first month, right, Rubes? Leon made sure he got his check, $500 billion, and he's getting more contracts. And if he gets the job to pull that space station down, that's another at least $1 billion. Guess who they're going to hire to do that? You know who they're going to hire to do that. Anyway, $500 billion almost Leon has gotten of your money, and we ain't even a full month in, are we? And you might someday get a $700 check, not a $5,000 check. Maybe someday. Leon didn't wait for maybe someday for his money, which is your money. Rubes that are trolling for this and arguing for this as you get looted. Fuck damn liberals. The liberals ain't looting you right now, son. The Russians and the GOP are. And one fat South African. And you've got a literal Nazi movement. Literally. Full of Hitler salutes, brown shirts, camps, and everything. But keep arguing for it. Keep debating for it. I'm sure there were a lot of Hitler apologists back in the day. That's all you people are. What a sad existence that is. I don't feel sorry for you. I guess I just laugh at it. What a waste that is to spend one's life on hatred, Nazi ideology, and spouting GOP talking points that were brewed in 1945 and before that even. I mean, I'm just glad that's not my existence, because I would see that as a complete waste of an existence. All you did was serve the purposes of a runt KGB agent and Satan. That's it. That's been your existence. And that's what you taught your children. Here's Donnie. Think of it, a modestly successful comedian, Zelensky, talked the United States of America into spending $350 billion to go into a war. First of all, the United States of America did not spend $350 billion. Europe has actually given Zelensky more money than we have. So when Donnie says that Europe isn't paying their fair share, that's a lie. The amounts Donnie is quoting are a lie. I've seen the amounts. They are less than 350 billion. And of course, Donnie opens with the former comedian Zelensky. Hey, one thing I have to say about that: comedians actually have talent. Donnie doesn't. That's why Donnie was a reality TV star. You know what you rubes like Honey Boo Boo and shit. You know, fucking idiots with no talent, and you just follow their pathetic, contrived lives that they throw a camera in front of. That's what Donnie is. He wasn't even talented enough to be an actor. He had to do reality television, for fuck's sake. So we got a reality TV star, and that's how all you rubes know him. We from Jersey and New York area, we know him as the real estate con man. Liar, whiner, bitch, daddy's boy. That's what we know him as. You know, sociopath that like threw rocks at babies so his monster father and mother had to send him to military school. And it's not because they were a military family. In fact, none of them have ever served. Grandfather's a traitor just like him. They tried to draft him in the Russian or German military or something, and he just left the country instead of being drafted. Let's continue with this. But, you know, the point is it's always a pathetic comparison with Donnie, and there's always a literal exact hypocrisy in Donnie's statements, and I'm amazed at how he does it all the time. Again, you have a reality TV star. That's the only reason most of you people even know who the fuck that fat orange fuck is. Oh, he was on the TV saying you're fired. The obese daddy's boy who inherited $400 million and had been laundering money for the Russians for decades. That's the only reason you people give a fuck about him. Because of some stupid line he said to other sociopaths that went on his show. Again, we in New York and Jersey, we knew exactly what he was. That's why I was so astounded that anyone was even taking him seriously. So to talk shit on a comedian who actually has talent, Zelensky, when you were just a reality TV star, you know, the only reason anyone knows who the fuck you are is because your daddy was rich and you inherited 400 million. Not because you have any talent, skill, anything. Donnie can't do jack shit except lie, cheat, and steal. And a few other things which I won't say out loud. $350 billion to go into a war that couldn't be won, that never had to start, but a war that he, without the U.S. and Trump, will never be able to settle. Let me not go any further with this because I'll lose my goddamn mind. I'm just going to read the highlighted part. A dictator without elections, Zelensky better move fast or he is not going to have a country left. Whoever was in charge of Ukraine, when bitch-ass America came to them years ago and said, hey, Vlad and us, we'd really like you to get rid of those nukes. Could you do that? And maybe eventually, like 80 years from now, we'll let you in NATO, blah, blah, fucking blah. Oh, and we'll have your back. So much for American promises. Installing a guy who tried to overthrow our government, who's a convicted felon, rapist, fraud, defamer, was more important. Than keeping our promises to the Ukrainian people and government. Again, you people that, you know, think this is funny and are taking part, you are in serious peril. Eternal peril. This is not a game, and what you are participating in is abject fucking evil. You are the literal hand of Satan right now. Turn away for your own good. I get jack shit out of it. And this ain't a political discussion, son. Don't try and have one with me. You wish this was politics. So do I, actually. But it ain't. It's good and evil, and you are evil. At the moment, you can change. You ain't got much time left to change. Good luck. So he's saying Zelensky might not have a country left. Well, yeah, because Donnie and Russia, they're allies now. We're the enemy of the world now, people. Do you realize that? We are hated by every decent nation on earth right now. Hated. I see the comments online by Romanians, by Ukrainians, etc. They hate us. Canada hates us. Mexico hates us. Most of Europe hates us. Donnie and Leon were able to do that in a month, and that was intentional. Because they don't want American companies trading with our allies anymore. They want them trading with Russia and China and Venezuela and the Saudis. That's one aim of this. The other is to bring down the United States. And who knew all it would take is one disgustingly fat, orange-faced, diaper-wearing, shitty con man from New York and a fat-ass South African oligarch whose hideous baby mamas got to contact him online because they can't get a hold of him. Both compulsive liars, both abject criminals. That's why things have to get drafted. Like, oh yeah, Leon has no part of Doge. Well, Leon was all about Doge every 5 seconds until the word prison got mentioned. Then all of a sudden, oh, I got nothing to do. That's them kids, straight out of high school, those college dropouts that, God knows what we do behind closed doors. They're responsible. I got nothing to do with it. Yeah, they're not going to have a country left because Donnie's going to align and has aligned with Russia now. That's our ally now. Are you happy? Is that cool with you, fake patriots? I could spend all night just on this. Here's the real skilo. You ready? We don't have a country left. It's already written. You will be crying. You won't be able to go to work anymore. It will be chaos. So all these threats by these Satan worshipers here, they're meaningless. Whatever horrors are coming to the rest of the world, oh my God, the horrors that are coming here, man. They're written. I already know what's going to happen. It's guaranteed. So in other words, son, you don't have a country left already. And soon, in the next couple years, we really ain't going to have a country left. Shit going to be burning in ruins, cracked in pieces. Have the merchants of the earth wailing and weeping. Wait till you see what you have wrought and these two fat cunts have wrought. You don't even know. I know. Keep trolling, keep debating, spend your last minutes ensuring your place in the lake. That's up to you. Zelensky and Trump trade blows as feud escalates over peace talks. Yes, Zelensky basically, in a nice way, said Trump lives in a circle of Russian disinfo. And that's a kind way of saying Donnie has been Vlad's bitch since the 80s. And the second Donnie was taken seriously as a presidential candidate, Vlad probably came on himself. and said to him, damn, my shit's finally paying off with these rubes. I've been working on them for 10, 15 years, and they've been parroting the talking points, and the right-wing podcasters that I've been paying have been helping, and the social media outlets that I've been paying have been helping until I stole the money back. Then they still helping because they afraid, I might have maybe something going to happen to them. And I'm talking as Vlad now, in character. So yes, that's a kind way of saying, because Zelensky can't say it outright like I can. He's got a people to worry about, a country. Donnie's been Vlad's bitch since the 80s. Whether you agree or not, doesn't matter. Whether you think it's a lie or not, doesn't matter. You can lie to yourself, all these people out there. But he just proved everything that everyone's been accusing him of. And Leon too, they've both proven it. Leon wants to put the idea that he's not a paid Russian asset. No, he doesn't need to be paid. The same way Google doesn't need to be paid, son. Vlad stole $100 million from them. They had to shut down their business in Russia. They still promote his people. They still take the Russian money. And they don't talk about how Vlad took their $100 million. You know why? Because people might fall out of windows if they start doing that. So they better just keep on doing what they doing. Zuckerberg too, he better just keep on doing what he's doing. In other words, these people don't need the money. That's not really why they do it. They do it because they don't want their legs broke. They don't want to get thrown out a window. Leon's the same thing. They got Leon on lock. I can tell by how desperate he's doing all this. The desperation. The heavier drug use. All of it. Leon don't want his legs broke. Leon don't need the money. That ain't why he's doing it. They may have helped him get where he got. But that ain't the real reason. Leon knows what the real reason is. So when he gets on TV, I don't need any Russian money. I'm not a paid asset. No, you're an asset under threat, son. Because again, you soft as a beluga whale. Wouldn't be hard to have you doing nothing. Not a bitch like you. You wouldn't put up a fight at all. Trump has spectacularly blown his cover as a Russian asset and ultimately failed his mission. Indeed, he has blown his cover. But he blew that a long time ago. But now even the rubes are starting to notice. I'm starting to see town halls in little red-ass areas of the country, where the dumbasses all voted Donnie. And now they're starting to see that move towards dictatorship. I don't know how they didn't see it last time. But whatever. And they getting worried. Again, you were warned for 8 years. But again, you're all wise. All these evil liberal people out here just trying to trick you and turn you to Satan, right? No, son, you've been Satan the whole fucking time. Following GOP Jesus. The Jesus that hates the immigrant would never feed the poor for free. Would never heal the sick for free. Would never love his neighbor. That's the Jesus you've been worshiping. You know what that Jesus is called? Satan, son. And I'm a lot more knowledgeable in scripture and all this shit than you are. Why? Because I don't apply my bias to it. I don't alter Jesus to fit my political fucking narrative. That's your entire existence, actually. That's why. That's why I'm the one that should be listened to and never you. Ever. But the world won't allow that, I'm sure. The world hasn't allowed that. I'm the shutdown king, baby. I've been shut down everywhere. And if I wasn't, my audience right now, instead of 7, would be 7 million or 700,000. And they know that. That's why I had to get shut down 19 times here and on every other website. But whatever. I have a feeling it's going to go differently this time. For a while. After this pile of feces, Trump attacked Zelensky and took the side of murderous dictator Putin and had his whores Vance and Hegseth attack our European allies. Guess what we are? The bad guys, Rubes. That's what you are. Because all of the world now looks at all of us as if we are you. You know, the hand of Satan. And I don't blame the rest of the world. They don't know that it's only about 34% of this country that are MAGA Satanists. They don't know that. They just lump us all in as one. So now we are all responsible in the world's eyes because of 34% population of sociopaths that think an orange-faced maniac saying you're fired is cool with a load of shit in his diaper. Probably because he's just a mediocre piece of shit like they are. Never good at anything. Girls didn't really like him. The only reason these Eastern European women give him the time of day is because of who he is and how much money he has. Otherwise, they wouldn't give him a second fucking look. You know what? When Melania was in her satanic priest outfit on the floor of Congress or at the Capitol, wherever this inauguration took place, I think it's the first time I ever saw Melania look up at Donnie with love. Because I think in Melania's eyes, as a satanic priestess or whatever the fuck she is, I think she saw him as finally achieving something. Being the Antichrist and being coronated. You think those people didn't know what was going on? You see the way she was dressed? There was a reason for that. And again, I saw the way she was looking at him. I never saw her look at him like that before. It's like she finally got some respect for him. She finally looked at him as a success at something. It was fucked up. And that tells me what she's about and what they're doing behind closed doors. That little scene we saw during the inauguration with the 2 Bibles and all the bullshit, him not putting his hand on the Bible, which you people pointed out for me, and I appreciate that. And her dressed the way she was. I got some strong Satan vibes all over that. It didn't look normal, did it, Rubes? Did that look like a normal inaugural to you? No. Because what you were seeing was a big moment in Satan's life, in Donnie's life, and his little satanic priestess's life. At this stage, no one would be surprised if Donald posted the original Russian text into his tweets. Excuse me, pasted the original Russian text into his tweets. That's Darth Putin that said that. We all must listen to Darth Putin. He knows all, he sees all. And I assume the real Putin wants to kill him. And yeah, Donald might as well just be speaking Russian. When's he going to make Russian a national language, Rubes? I'd love to see you defend that one when he does that. Or when he comes for your guns. We ready to give them up since Trump wanted them. If a liberal wanted them, now we'd have to shoot them. Fucking idiots. Mike Pence getting uppity here. I was kind of surprised. And again, Mike, it's way too late to be getting uppity. Mr. President, Ukraine did not start this war. That's in quotes, the word start. Russia launched an unprovoked and brutal invasion, claiming hundreds of thousands of lives. The road to peace must be built on the truth. Wow, Mike Pence, a rare moment of truth in his life. I'm agreeing with Mike Pence strongly here, very strongly. That's 100% true. I'm amazed Mike even got this uppity. Now, still, Mike's being very polite here to the man that tried to have him whacked. Literally. His running mate. So Mike still hasn't really grown a spine, but he's getting a few splinters going. Of a spine. Almost. So again, I'm surprised Mike got even this uppity with the guy who tried to have him whacked. I wonder how that Wormwood thing's going too. We don't hear much about that anymore. I wonder where that's going to go. That hole in Chernobyl. You know, thanks to you, Rubes, emboldening Donnie, who then emboldens Putin. Breaking, Trump apparently just declared himself king. He cannot continue anywhere near any position of authority in this nation. Yes, what was it, yesterday? Congestion pricing is dead, or the day before. Manhattan and all of New York is saved. Long live the king. Again, he's calling himself king. You're not supposed to do that. Like other people that think you're cool, they're supposed to say, like, long live the king. You don't say long live the king about yourself in a post. Unless you're abject narcissism. Unless you're the beast. Unless you're Satan's prince. Boy, Donnie loves himself more than anybody loves him, doesn't he? Long live the king, he says. Okay. But then there's this. The White House official account on Twitter posting this. Wow. The White House posting a picture of Donnie on a magazine cover with a crown on. Is that New York in the background? I can't even tell. Again, you want to look at this one more time? Right at the top there. It says the White House. Huh. A portent for where this is all going? Excuse me, for where we're at? I keep saying where it's going. We in dictatorship already, you didn't know? You better ask somebody. Long live the king with Donnie with a crown, put out by the White House official Twitter account. America is over. It's not coming back. I'm sorry. I don't like saying that. It's just over. IRS to lay off 6,000 employees tomorrow, which was today, I believe, because this is from 2 days ago or a day ago. 6,000 IRS workers gone. It's 1 a.m. in the U.S. with Musk rushing to meet his daily quota of promoting Kremlin narratives, platforming Russia's paid influencers, and promoting pro-Russian political parties. Yes, Leon is all about the Nazi party in Germany, the AfD. I'll just call them the Nazi party because that's what they are. Otherwise, Leon wouldn't love them so much. And it's Charlie Kirk, potato head, potato and gums, that's what I call him. All Germans should vote AfD in the upcoming election. This is for the survival of Germany. Close your borders and protect your culture. So here we go again with the, dog whistle for white supremacy. What does that mean? Close your borders and protect your culture when someone like Charlie Kirk or Leon says that, that means get the non-whites out of your country and keep it white over there in Nazi Germany, because you know that's the fatherland for Leon, his granddaddy, Leon's daddy. Even though he has a Russian last name, Musk, which makes sense since he's Putin's bitch too, just for a different reason. Plus, Putin's a white supremacist Nazi as well. I don't know if you knew that. I don't know if you know Muscovy, Moscow, that area used to be called like Muscovites, the people from there. That's where the title Moscow came from. I guess that's the Americanization of it or something. But Muscovy, Musk, that's fucking Russian. So it's funny, he's like a Russian Nazi. Just like Vlad. And you got Charlie Kirk on the Nazi bandwagon because, you know, it makes these cunts money, guys like Charlie Kirk, promoting Nazi ideology, helping his country slip into the abyss of Nazism. Because Nazism worked out so great before, right, guys? Right, Rubes? It didn't bring the literal Armageddon to fucking Germany and the world, did it? So let's try it again, right, Rubes? Because you never fucking learn. We tripled down on stupidity. That's your existence. So all Germans should vote AFD and protect their borders and protect their culture. White supremacy, pure and simple. What does Leon say about that? This is existential. Yeah, we know, Leon. We saw the Nazi salute. We heard you talking about humans need to have more babies, which is code for white humans need to have more babies because whites are having the least amount of babies. We know. We get it. So that's what Leon thinks of the Nazi party in Germany. You should vote Nazi if you live in Germany, according to the Nazi salute guy, Leon. Okay? That's where we at in 2025 in America. Oh, and Leon is co-president too. Thanks, Rubes. I'm sure it'll work out great. Just like Hitler. It worked out really well for his people, didn't it? Here's Leon again. Zelensky cannot claim to represent the will of the people in Ukraine unless he restores freedom of the press and stops canceling elections. His country is at war. You don't want to have elections while you're at war. And it says the guy who's going to end U.S. elections, Leon Scum and Donnie Shitbags. I promise you. They will end U.S. elections. It's over. I told you this. Yet he's talking about Zelensky, a guy who's under siege by their cunt buddy Putin. Zelensky doesn't want freedom and he doesn't want elections. Again, Leon is so assured his place in the lake. And I want to be real clear when I mention the lake because I know what you cunts are going to try and do. You've already tried it. And they tried it last time. The gypsies tried it too. I'm talking about a spiritual lake on the other side when I speak of it. So everyone is clear and knows what I mean. You know, not like the threats these people make, which are real physical right now threats. And, you know, rounding people up and locking them up. And again, Rube, I don't care what country you're from, who you're trolling for. It's going to come to your doorstep too. The camp stuff. The America going Nazi stuff. It's coming to every one of your countries. If you think you're safe in that basement with the 80 smartphones, trolling for Russia, India, Saudi, Chinese, whatever you're doing, it's coming to your door. You. I promise. You can't run away from this. And Leon's going to explain it to us in a minute here. I'm going to get to it. How no one's going to be able to run away from it. He didn't mean it that way. But he was giving the game away anyway. It's kind of one of those karmic admissions. Kind of like some older woman whose son-in-law dies, and then they put a picture of him up that says best dad ever on it. Kind of like that kind of karmic admission. Leon does the same thing later on here. So Zelensky isn't trying to stop the press from reporting. He's not trying to cancel elections. His country is under war, under siege. Some of the territories are still under siege. Those people can't vote. A lot of them are dead. So you can't really have elections, can you? But you rubes know this. You just parrot the talking points that Leon and the right-wing grift / terror machine and Vlad provide for you. That's your existence. You don't have time for anything else. Over the past 4 years, the Department of Justice has been politicized like never before, says the convicted felon. We must clean house immediately, restore confidence. America's golden age, as a tribute to Satan, must have a fair justice system that begins today. Again, the convicted felon who tried to overthrow the government, have his vice president killed, stole 3,000 classified documents, adjudicated rapist, adjudicated defamer, adjudicated fraud. His kids had to take a class on how not to steal from their charities that they ran. That was a court-mandated class. Me and you would have went to prison. Those kids had to go to a class on how to not steal from people. That's the guy who says we need to clean house. AKA, what does that really mean? I want only sycophant judges out there and prosecutors that'll go after whoever I want and will lock you up for any reason I say. That's where this is going, and it's going there at the speed of light, people. Again, I don't care if you're the staunchest rube. Your bitch ass could be one of the ones that ends up on the plane to the camp for any reason. But you're too stupid to know that. You don't learn from history. In fact, you never studied it at all. And even if you did, your ears would have been closed because all you heard was the propaganda your daddy, Fox News, whatever, was spouting. And you ain't smart enough to come up with your own opinions based on reality and based on that word you pretend to care about. Golden age coming. And by golden, he means Donnie pissing on all of you. You know, like the PP tape? That's what Donnie's talking about. And he's also talking about Satan. And don't worry, you don't have to believe. It's going to come to your doorstep at some point. It's going to come to the whole world's doorstep. You'll believe then, but it'll probably be too late. Whatever. That's your prerogative. We all have free will. It's a free country, too, or it used to be anyway. Now it's a Nazi dictatorship, but whatever. You people never cared any fucking way. Trump, if there's any conflict, Elon will stop it. But if he didn't, I'd stop it. Leon says the possibility of me getting away with something is 0%. So what happened, I guess the question was, my God, Leon is so Botoxed and chunky in this motherfucking shot. And Donnie, just bronze orange. I don't even know what the fuck to call that. My God, how do you people envy this? How sad is your life that you envy this monstrosity in any fucking way? Talk him up in any fucking way. And Leon's looking all kind of bloated and Botoxy. I don't even know what an Asian lately. The thing he did with the cheekbones, whatever Botox or whatever the filler that is, he's looking really Asian. It's kind of strange. So the question probably came up in this interview, conflict of interest. Hey, this guy's got government contracts. He's got interests in government contracts. He has an office in the White House. He paid $230 million to you for. Could there possibly be a conflict of interest here? Oh, no. Donnie assures us, no, don't. If there's any conflict, Elon will stop it. And if he didn't, I'd stop it. Really? No, they didn't stop jack shit. They just took $440 billion of your money and gave it to Leon in the first month, you fucking idiots. That's how eager they were to do that evil and take that money from you. They couldn't even wait a month. The richest man in the world couldn't wait a month. And you know what? He wanted that contract that Altman got for $500 billion as well. So that would have brought Leon almost to $1 trillion. Would have brought him to $940 billion had he gotten that Altman contract as well, which he wanted, by the way. $1 trillion. If Leon got his full desire, he'd have over $1 trillion of your money right now. As of now, he has about 440 billion, almost half $1 trillion. He's looted from you already. We ain't even a month in. So according to Leon and Donnie, the possibility of Leon getting away with anything is 0%. Never mind that 440 billion. That's not a conflict of interest at all. And all the other millions like Doge is charging the government and this and that. You don't even know about that, do you? I'll get to that. Minnesota declares a state of emergency amid a trifecta of viral outbreaks. And again, I'm not going to go into the story. I'm just kind of giving the headlines of different outbreaks and things that are going on when I see them, because Leon and Donnie literally don't want you to know what's going on as far as foodborne illnesses, tainted food, diseases, outbreaks in animals, because Donnie and Leon are the beast and the false prophet. And what comes along with the beast and the false prophet are a lot of plagues. They know this. They don't want you to know about those plagues. Plus COVID. That hurt Donnie's image a little bit, according to him. And he don't want to worry about shit like that. So you know what? Just kill the messenger. And don't allow you to get the message of what's going on. That's the way cunts like this handle things like that. Musk proposes $5,000 Doge dividend checks. There's no dividends, first of all. They're firing people and pocketing the money, and no, you ain't getting any. And the readers added context here, or a community note, if you will. Leon Musk, Leon Scum, Doge never mentioned 5,000 or a specific dollar amount. So again, your check went from 5,000 to 700 in a matter of hours. And Leon said, I never mentioned a specific amount. I just know people hate my fucking guts. And I wanted to throw something out there. It's what I always do with Tesla to fraudulently pump the stock up. So I just wanted people out there to have some false hope for something in the future and maybe like me for a minute and not come with the pitchforks and torches yet. That's what Leon's really trying to say here. Because they're walking a fine line here. They got to go full fascist. They got to crash the economy. They got to betray Ukraine. They'll eventually betray Israel as well. But they got to walk a fine line. They can't do it too quick because the people might rise up. So again, they got to, make us the frog in the boiling pot of water that slowly gets the heat turned up each day. But the pace of the daily activity is much too fast to be normal. It's supernatural. 1. 2, it tells me they don't have a lot of time. They're freaking out and they're overstepping the line, and they have to keep walking it back a little bit, over and over. This has happened within a month. One of these days, they're going to pull the trigger, the metaphorical trigger of a really big event, like arresting a bunch of judges or arresting all the liberals in government, just like Hitler. They're following Hitler's playbook from 1939. You know that, right? I hope you know that. Be ye rube or not. A lot of similarities in the approach here. An account called America, I don't know what the fuck that is. U.S. State Department under President Trump has officially designated the following as foreign terrorist organizations: Tren de Aragua, MS-13, Sinaloa Cartel, Jalisco New Generation Cartel, United Cartels, Northeast Cartel, Gulf Cartel, Michoacan family. Then you have Leon over this America account. That means they're eligible for drone strikes. So again, we have a fat, pasty oligarch who never served in the military, never been in a fight in his life. Total pussy. Who would run away from I don't know, a gnat. Talking about drone striking Mexican cartels. I'm sure that privilege wouldn't be abused, would it? We would just stick to those bad drug dealer people. You know, the people that Leon buys from. What a fucking joke. Leon was gacked the fuck up today. And he gonna talk about drug cartels? Where would you get your supply from, man? Better leave them cartels alone. Anyway, do we really need to be drone striking cartels? Wouldn't it be funny? The weapons that they buy from the American weapons contractors, illegal and legal, the cartels. We would then send our drones to bomb the people that bought our weapons. And pretend like we're the good guys. It's incredible. And again, Leon, what the fuck right does he have? He's not even fucking American. He wasn't even born here. What the fuck right does he have to talk about drone striking targets in Mexico? I think the Mexican government would have a slight problem with that. Because you can say any day of the week, oh, don't worry, we're just going to bomb cartels. Don't worry. And we're real accurate with it. There won't be any collateral damage. No little Jose and Juanita, dead on the street because they were just, drinking a glass of lemonade on the sidewalk or something because we wanted to, get some footage of a drone strike on an alleged cartel. None of that would ever happen. Don't worry. Yeah, I don't think the Mexican government would be down with that. Oh, Leon's new symbol for his AI. Again, Leon's all about Mars. How's this Saturn thing getting here all of a sudden? What's this Saturn thing all about? The new logo for Grok. Leon's shitty AI that he really wants people to like. It doesn't matter. Altman got the contract. I have a feeling Leon's going to weasel Grok into it somehow. Who knows? But again, this is the real point. Why the Saturn? This guy's about Mars. His entire existence is based on a novel that a Nazi scientist wrote about Mars. He's all about Mars. It's the only place he wants to go. But then you got the Saturn thing. What's up with that? Well, again, I won't go into an explanation of it, but those of us that have sought wisdom, we know why he chose Saturn and what it represents. I won't go into the whole thing. You won't believe it anyway. Don't worry. In the near future, within the next couple of years, you'll be believing every damn word I say. Trust me. I won't need to convince you. Leon Scum has unfollowed Ashley St. Clair on X after she publicized their relationship and child. St. Clair is apparently vexed that he's ignoring her. Yes, so within a week, I believe, we've had this Ashley St. Clair person who's a MAGA podcaster or whatever the fuck she was. She was a big deal in MAGA world. Thought she was all that. Then she met Leon. And, Leon had a good time with her, I guess, and then he never wanted to talk to her again and said, oh, yeah, that child you're having of mine, could you never tell the world that it's my kid? Could you just keep that a secret forever? That's Leon. And then she had to go on social media because he was just straight up ignoring her. And again, this is a guy with about, I don't know, $600 billion now. So he don't have to worry about child support and stuff like that. He doesn't even have to think about it. He's got plenty of money to pay every single woman he's impregnated. Yet he avoids them and doesn't pay them. They have to beg him to talk to them on social media. They even have to say, hey, could you even hire somebody? I said that too when I first read her first comment, Miss Grimes. And Miss St. Clair. I said, why can't Leon just hire someone to handle all his baby mamas? They don't even actually want to talk to him. They just want money so they can support the child, which they deserve, by the way. No matter whether I like the women or not, or agree with their politics or whatever, they had his kid. They deserve some money out this motherfucker, so they can support that kid and they don't have to worry about it. Since he is the richest fucking scumbag on earth, literally. I mean, I'd love to see what the Rubes have to say to defend this cretin. With these women have to go on social media and beg him to talk to them and handle the problem with his own child. The one woman, he wouldn't even sign the birth certificate. That's how proud that he was that he slept with her. I basically told her, yeah, can you never tell the world that that's my kid? That's how much I think of you, honey. Leon. And the irony is, the only reason she slept with Leon is because of the money, not because of him. So him telling her to fuck off and that you're not good enough and I ain't signing that person is the ultimate irony, isn't it? She's the one that had to sleep with a fucking fat, sweaty beluga whale. And he's the one that doesn't want to talk to her? Really? She's the one that's lost credibility here, or status, if you will, by acknowledging that she slept with you. I'm not even sure they slept together. I heard they did. I don't know. It could have been one of those IVF things. Who the fuck knows with this freak? So yes, Leon has unfollowed her. Is that what it is? Yeah, he unfollowed the mother of one of his children, who's been trying to contact him to the point she had to go online and say, I've had Leon's child. He won't even talk to me. He wants me to just pretend this didn't happen. He didn't want to sign a birth certificate. He wanted me locked up in some fucking penthouse somewhere forever, and I couldn't have my career, and I couldn't turn on all these geriatrics and grift them for money like I usually do. That's the price you pay when you sleep with Leon or be one of his surrogate IVF partners, huh? Oh my God, when I saw the you fucking Rubes. Donnie on Air Force One yesterday or the day before in all his fucking disheveled, fucked up glory. Look at this motherfucker. Oh God, what a nightmare. What a nightmare. What a nightmare. And he really was insistent on this. We're going to Fort Knox, the fabled Fort Knox, to make sure the gold is there. If the gold isn't there, we're going to be very upset. So Donnie's letting you know in advance that they're going to go there and steal a bunch of gold, if not all of it. And then they're going to come back and claim that the gold wasn't there. And again, this is a conspiracy theory we've heard from the Alex Jones people and others for a couple decades now, that all the gold in Fort Knox is gone, blah, blah, fucking blah. I don't know what the fuck's in Fort Knox, and I don't believe anyone that tells me they know what's in Fort Knox and how much is actually there and whose it is. I do believe Donnie when he says he's going to Fort Knox, and I know why Donnie and the boys would want to go to Fort Knox. I mean, hey, this is the ultimate grift. This is the, their lifetime dream, that they have control of the reins of power and that the Rubes would just hand it to them. And boy, did they. So I am assuming that Donnie and Leon and the boys are going to go down to Fort Knox and just help themselves to whatever they want. Who's going to stop them? Absolutely fucking no one. So thanks, Rubes. This is the nightmare you've created. Donnie and Leon going to Fort Knox to loot you there too. Great job. And yes, back to Grok and Saturn. Again, there's a reason he chose Saturn. And no, it's not just because it looks cool. Seek wisdom and you'll understand why. Canada, NATO, and the EU have 3 weeks to come up with a plan to put Trump, Putin in a fucking box. Enlist, rearm LFG. That's advice from a Canadian. And the reason he's saying that is because Mika Altola is a what's that called? European Parliament member. And they were given this message. The United States has given us 3 weeks to agree on the terms of Ukraine's surrender. If we don't, the United States will withdraw from Europe. Trump prioritizes Russia's security concerns now and in the future. Exactly. Trump is Putin's ally. Let's not lie to each other here. We all know what it is, son. And this person, Mika Altola, is stating it bluntly. So what happened? Donnie gave the European Union 3 weeks to be on board with Vlad and Donnie's, slice and dice of Ukraine. Or we pulling troops out. Again, standard protection racket that the mob runs. And for the 3rd time or 5th time, the reason we have troops in Europe is in case Vlad starts some shit with us. So we can just attack right over the border and obliterate his entire country. That's why the troops are in Europe. They're not there to protect Europe. We would not fight Europe's war until the last possible second when we had no choice, which is exactly what we did in World War II. We sat back, watched it all happen for a long time. As Europe got blitzkrieged, as England got leveled night after night. And it wasn't until it was just absolutely necessary that we got in. If we would have got in earlier, maybe right at the beginning, a lot more people would have been alive, and Nazism would have spread nearly as far. But we sat back and waited, and that's exactly what America would do this time, too. Even though we got troops over there. Because everyone's afraid to just handle the problem. Same as when Hitler came to power. Everyone was afraid to just handle the motherfucking problem. And you know what it really was with America? And it still is today? The people that run in America want to see which way the wind blew. Maybe we'll ally with Germany. Who knows? That was the real contemplation going on. The same contemplation is now. And it seems the choice was made. We're going to ally with Russia, the enemy. We're going to be part of the axis of evil. And our country is going to fall. It's guaranteed. So Europe now has a 3-week deadline. Let them own their own mess. We have 3 weeks to grow up. Again, that's the rest of Mika Altola's comment. This is very dangerous. Again, all of our allies now hate our guts. All of our allies are having discussions on how to move forward without America. And we do have a pretty powerful military, but when all the democratic countries that actually have money to put into the military, if they want to, start doing that, America could have a real problem when all we got is Russia, who has no army. It's a joke. Because they stole all the money. China, their army's a joke. They stole all the money. It's better than Russia's. It's still a joke. Get all these European countries, Canada, Mexico, etc., all pooling their money together, get a nice force going. That's not good for America. Because the people we're allied with, their militaries are a joke. They're dictatorships. Their governments are straight up thievery. They steal every dime produced by the populace. That's what's happening now here. The spoils of America, that, you know, a country that's whatever, 200 some years, however old it is, all going to a fat South African oligarch and a fat orange-faced idiot and a few other people. That's what the Rubes have done. And now again, all of Europe hates us and has been given a deadline by Donnie. 3 weeks. You run with me and Vlad by the end of 3 weeks, or we pull our troops. If I was Europe, I'd say pull the troops, man. Vlad ain't got no fucking army to fuck with nobody. I bet pretty much any European country could take on his fucking army of mercenaries, 13-year-olds, and prisoners. Yeah, I think Europe would be just fine against that. The problem is Ukraine by itself isn't just fine against that. Now, if Vlad attacks Europe and America attacks Europe, which that might actually happen, then Europe would have a problem. A big problem. We paid Doge $14.4 million to steal our data, and that to the add that to the upcoming lawsuits. Yes, let's read some of this. Leon Scum's staffers, who he threw under the bus, I added that part, have taken an additional $7.4 million this week in expenses, bringing the total to $14.4 million. Can someone with better math skills than me explain how 6 guys supposedly working for free and sleeping in the office can run up $14.4 million in expenses in 2 weeks? Maybe someone should call the IG. Oh, right. That we don't have those anymore. By the way, he just bragged that laying off 1,000 VA workers saves $98 million a year. At this burn rate for his free services, that's in quotes, that savings, in quotes, disappears in 10 weeks, in under 10 weeks. Yeah, you know, if we're doing, what is this, $14.4 million every 2 weeks for these scumbags, and I'm sure that number will go up. What does that cost per year? You want to do that math, Rubes? Again, is Leon and the Hitler Youth really saving any money? Is it really about government waste and fraud and too many employees? Absolutely fucking not. It's about looting and weakening and destroying America. And why would Donnie and Leon care? They're going to have all your money. They can go anywhere once Babylon falls. And boy, is it going to fall. So, you know, they don't have to suffer like the rest of us. They're going to have a few $1 trillion each at the least after they done grifting. And again, remember, this Doge office shit was scheduled to conclude around July 2026, whenever, right before the midterms. This was planned before Donnie took office, that this Doge team would stop their work by that point. What's so important about that point? Well, the midterms are a few months away. They got a plan for that's why they said this in advance, that they would conclude their work right before the midterms. There's a reason they said that. There's a reason they have that timeline. It's going to be quite horrible to see what that reason is when they finally reveal it. After ceding power of the purse, GOP lawmakers beg Trump team for funds. Yes, I've seen Katie Britt. Is she from Alabama? Is she one of their reps? Perfectly willing to lie in the empty kitchen months and months ago for Donald and help this all happen. Now that her constituents started pulling the pitchforks out the closet and calling her number and saying, yo, we getting fucked down here. Fuck you doing up there, Katie? And we don't want no half-ass message from an empty kitchen, honey. They took money from Alabama, a university, a damn lot of money. Katie looking stupid now. Every one of you rubes looking stupid now. You can shout all you want to you're blue in the face about how great all this is. I can tell by your demeanors when you do the videos, when you make the comments, you scared shitless. You know you fucked up. You stepped on a fucking landmine, son. And every one of you knows it. Even the most hardcore troll and shill for them. Even they know it. Miss Levitt knows it. All of you know it. I can see it in your demeanor, the way you talk. You know you sold your soul. You know this is going nowhere. It's going to the abyss. Every one of you knows it. And you know, even if you're taking part, you know how fucked up it all is. You know how wrong it all is. And you know it's going to end up in a just horrible place. I can tell. That's why I'm here. So we've got Katie Britt, probably, I assume, one of the few cute Republican women I've ever fucking seen, by the way. And a bunch of other GOP lawmakers all here in a line trying to do it. Hey, Donnie, you're only supposed to hurt the liberals. What's going on here? We got all these programs cut in our states, too. Why are you doing this, Donnie? Well, Donnie said he was going to do it, Rubes. What, you thought he actually cared about some of you people? Or any of you people? Other than Ivanka? He never did. But you people knew this. And he said what he was going to do before office, and you were warned by a million people like me. That actually care about America? That actually understand what the Constitution says and take it seriously? And then actually understand what the real Jesus is and the real God is. You were warned by all those people. These cunts were warned. But power and money and their team staying in power or regaining power was more important, which is literally exactly what Satan was banking on with you people. How they word that? After ceding power, giving power away for nothing. Now they in line complaining on television. Donald's hurting our states. Could you please not do that anymore, Donnie? They're asking cabinet secretaries and other Trump officials to let money flow back into their state. But wait a minute. I thought you conservatives were all about saving money. Fiscal conservatism. This don't look like fiscal conservatism to me. This looks like begging for those handouts back. Oh yeah, that's right. You guys never actually believed in any of that. That's just a talking point for the rubes to spout. That's the only reason you say it. So the idiot peasant on the street has something to yell at people on Facebook. Never actually believed in anything. I forgot about that. And you certainly didn't believe in America or Jesus, Miss Britt, and all those men standing behind her. Because you helped make Donnie happen. You helped. Here's the irony of it all. Again, people. So many of you out there alleged to be Christian conservatives. Miss Britt does as well. Yet she watched all the abominations, rapes, felonies, treacheries, and she co-signed them. And she talked them up, and she preached them. What are you and she and anyone else that helped this happen doing? You're being the hand of Satan, literally. You are being the antithesis of the book and the cause you allege to be about, which you never really cared about. It was just a community to belong to and rise up through the ranks in. That's all it is for you people. Unfortunately, otherwise, you would not have endorsed and co-signed the literal Antichrist. That's how I know you're the hand of Satan on earth right now. It's a real simple concept. And it doesn't matter what talking points you have ready. You're still the hand of Satan. Unless you turn away. That's what Miss Britt is, as cute as she is, and all these dudes standing behind her. And that's what you are. Hopefully, before you take your last breath, or before you take that mark, you'll have a sincere change of heart. You can't just get up and say, I had a change of heart, praise Jesus. No, it's got to be in here, man. In other words, you're going to have to really want to go in the backyard, pull your Nancy Pelosi doll, your Joe Biden doll, your Obama doll, all your liberal dolls, your AOC doll down. You know, with the bullet holes in them. You're going to have to really want to do that. Go out there, take those dummies down, stop shooting at those dummies every day. In other words, you're going to have to sincerely let that lust for murder go that's in your heart. That's what I'm talking about. That lust for evil. By emboldening the Antichrist, you're going to have to let that go sincerely. Unlike Miss Britt and her people here who just want her constituents or just want their constituents to leave them the fuck alone. In other words, they're not up there saying, yeah, this guy's the Antichrist and he's horrible and he's terrible and I withdraw my support for him because he fucked over my constituents in Georgia or Alabama, whatever. No, they don't say that. Please, can we have the money back, Donnie? That's all they say. What a shame. What a shame. They all helped make this happen. So these people that represent you out there, you specific, whatever districts they're from, you voted for these people that in turn betrayed you and, led you astray. And you voted for Donnie, who has led you utterly astray and is the downfall of this nation. We're already done. I'm just waiting for the real disaster to happen. Babylon. Read about what happens to Babylon in the end. Because that's an American city they're talking about. I'm starting to lean more that it's D.C. now, but D.C. or New York. Maybe both. And don't worry, they're not the only areas that will be hurt by any means. This is awful funny. Someone put several pictures of Ocasio-Cortez out there. They did something to her chest to where her breasts show through her shirt. No, I'm not showing you the pictures. They're blacked out anyway, even if I wanted to show them that area. But I'm talking about it to make a point. And there's a community note on the pictures of AOC that say this is Photoshop. The original photo can be found here. In other words, they took an original photo of AOC and they did something to this area to make it look like you could see through her shirt. So, of course, some random jerk-off named Danny with a blue check mark, because when your name's just Danny on a social media website, you need that verification badge so everyone knows you're the real Danny. Right, Danny? Fuck off. So Danny says AOC would be hot if she didn't open her mouth and speak. No, AOC's just hot. That's simple. Forget her political views as a woman. Again, I told you the other day, did you see what she looked like in college? Blows all these MAGA bitches away. Bobo, all these fucking freaks with that are all plastic and have no hips, no ass, no nothing. Just a haba, another one, just straight in front and back, except for the implants, straight down the sides, just jack shit, nothing. Plastic surgery, nose job, she still don't look that good. That's Bobo, that's Haba, that's, all these MAGA bitches. Then there's AOC. And people act, I keep seeing these comparisons online. People, and it's mostly from the MAGA side, they'll say things like, only MAGA women are beautiful. Have you seen Kim Guilfoyle? Have you seen Bobo? That's the standard MAGA woman right there. No, they're not beautiful. They're desperate to look how they look like when they were 19, and that's impossible. So they've taken the surgery to levels that are just clownish. Notice AOC did not do that. She looks like a natural woman. She doesn't have huge breast implants. She doesn't have big blown up lips. And I'm not against a little tweaking here and there. I've met some ladies throughout this thing. They had a little tweak here and there, but they didn't take it too far. And they look great. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the woman that has no body and just slaps some lips on, slaps some fake breasts on, and thinks she looking good. No. That's the difference between AOC and all these MAGA bitches. Katie Britt's one of the few exceptions, I notice. She didn't go crazy with the surgeries. That's why I find her attractive. That's why I find AOC attractive. And as much as you MAGA people talk about, you're the most beautiful women and AOC, those kind of women are ugly. No. It's kind of the opposite, actually. And it's a shame. And there's a reason I'm talking about this. This is the reason. Again, AOC would be hot if she didn't open her mouth. And that's random jerk-off Danny on the internet that's saying that with a blue check. Who knows? And then Leon, 100%. So when people say that Leon wants to, get with AOC, even though he talks shit on her all the time, he's proving it right there, 100%. Of course he wants to get... Leon never got a woman like AOC in his life. I have. And I don't mean a Puerto Rican woman. That's not what I mean. I mean a woman like AOC, like on that level. I have. Many times. Leon has not. He gets, Grimes and that other Ashley St. Clair, no body breast implant woman. That's the kind of women Leon gets. He don't get AOCs. That's why him and this guy Danny are lusting after AOC, because they're like, damn, I wish I could touch a real woman like that. That'd be nice. Even though I pretend I don't like her. Like the boys in school did. I did it too. You don't like the girls when you're a little boy, even though you do like them. You know what I'm saying? That's Leon right there. That's Danny right there. Making fun of the girl that they actually really like. And that's AOC. And notice AOC doesn't look like the MAGA bitches. Did you notice that? I did. Here's Leon again. Zelensky killed an American journalist. The pace and the level of lying this man is doing to hurt America, hurt this world, and just enrich himself. Again, Leon, you have so ensured your place in the lake. It is literally specifically written about you and Donnie going. And your daddy. And every day I see 9, 10, 15 quotes by Leon to this effect. Abject inversion of reality, lying, so him and his mob buddies, Putin and Donnie, can do whatever they want in Ukraine. And Leon can steal the wealth of Ukraine via their minerals and resources. It's just guaranteed for Leon. It's just guaranteed for Donnie. So what does that say about the rest of you? Is it guaranteed for you too? Most likely, if you don't turn away. Donnie and Leon will not turn away. They are lost causes. How do I know that? Because Jesus Christ says it. That's how I know it. Literally. About those specific two. I would hate to be them no matter what they do to me. Again, everybody thinks the devil's all cool and edgy and dark, and he's the real wrath. Oh no, son. You don't even realize what you're saying. You don't know motherfucking wrath till you see the man's wrath. That's wrath. I'm shaking just thinking about it. All this bullshit, this evil you people about to do. You think you vicious? Oh, you don't even know. You don't even know about the man. You don't know about the man's people, and I'm one of them. You think you know what vicious is? You have no fucking idea, son. You will, though. And I'll be there. Musk killed thousands of civilians in Ukraine by strategically cutting off Starlink to protect Russian naval ships from Ukrainian drones. Yes, he did do that. The naval ships proceeded to mass murder people with missiles. Also, Ukraine didn't kill a journalist. Lyra died from being a diseased muppet. I know Zelensky didn't kill any journalist. That's complete bullshit. And yes, Leon did shut off Starlink. And he just didn't want the war to escalate too much. He didn't want there to be nuclear war. No, Leon's a Russian asset. Paid or unpaid, it don't matter to me. He's still doing Russia's business. That's the only reason he shut off Starlink. So Ukraine couldn't do the damage they were trying to do to protect their nation. Again, son. All those deaths are on your head. I don't care how pasty and fucking beluga whale shaped of an oligarch you are. It's still on your head, son, which is why you going right in the lake. No discussion. No bodyguards deputized. No wall of money. Just fire! That's it. Again, no matter what you do to me and anyone else, you're still going. It's written. Enjoy. I will. I'm roasting marshmallows, I'm telling you. I'm going to make a party out the motherfucker. And that's not even an exaggeration. Oh yeah, they're trying to bribe you with your own tax dollars while they rob the country blind. You're not getting shit. And if you do, it will be pennies compared to what they're hauling to their own bank accounts. Indeed, Leon already got $440 billion, almost half a trillion of your money. You might get a $5,000 check someday. Actually, not 5,000, because remember, Leon didn't say an amount. So maybe it'll be 700, 500, who fucking knows? One day, someday, way off in the future. But Leon got his, right? That's cool, right, Rubes? Him getting 440 with a B, and you maybe someday off in the future getting 700 of your own money back, while Leon has 440 billion of your own money he got in 2 days. This is something that happened back in Nazi Germany. In the judicial system specifically, this act removed any judges that were deemed non-compliant with Nazi laws or principles. This act was reinforced by the German Civil Service Code of January 26, 1937, which retired any judges or judicial official who would not intervene in cases and rule in favor of the Nazis. Did you just hear me? The People's Court, a court created by the Nazis in April 1934, with judges chosen specifically for their Nazi beliefs. Does this sound familiar, people? Replaced the Supreme Court. With these measures in place, the Nazification of the judicial system was complete. Getting rid of judges unless they rule in your favor. The People's Court, you say, again, abject inversion of reality, calling a court of Nazis literally designed to impose the will of the Nazis, no matter what was right, wrong, legal or illegal. Calling that the People's Court is the literal opposite of what it was. It should have been called the State's Court, the Regime Court, the Nazi Court, because that's really what it was. And the reason I'm reading you this is because Donnie and Leon want to do the same thing with the judges here. And again, they're taking it right out of the Nazi playbook. None of them have an original thought or idea. They never have. They've taken everything, every part of this plan, except for the part where the technology that didn't exist back then. But everything else they're taking straight from the Nazi playbook. They're not even hiding it. Ensuring accountability for all agencies. Executive Order, February 18th, 2025. That's what that looks like. That's the title page for the Executive Order. God, I wish that shine wasn't right where I'm trying to show you. Whatever. Let's read a little bit of it. Rules of conduct guiding federal employees' interpretation of the law. The President and the Attorney General, subject to the President's supervision and control, shall provide authoritative interpretations of law for the executive branch. The President and the Attorney General's opinions on questions of law are controlling on all employees in the conduct of their official duties. In other words, Donnie and his AG say what's legal, and you go do it, or you get fired. Or maybe you go to prison. Kind of like Hitler. Exactly like Hitler. No employee of the executive branch acting in their official capacity may advance an interpretation of the law as the position of the United States that contravenes the President or the Attorney General's opinion on a matter of law, including but not limited to the issuance of regulations, guidance, and positions advanced in litigation, unless authorized to do so by the President or in writing by the Attorney General. So you can't even make a legal argument on camera unless they approve it first. Dangerous territory. 1933, Adolf Hitler signs a document saying only he can make the law. 2025, Trump signs an executive order saying only he and his attorney general know what the law is. A bit of a similarity there, wouldn't you say? Here's Ron Filipowski. Get ready for the only guardrail left, which isn't much, but it's something, to be as rigged as the algorithm. This is about community notes on Twitter. Here's Leon. Unfortunately, community notes is increasingly being gamed by governments and legacy media working to fix this. And the thing goes on. I don't have the full quote here. I have it in another screenshot. Community notes is horrible because Leon will delete whatever community note he does not like on a post if he wants the propaganda to go out unharmed. Leon will close people's accounts. Community notes are generated sometime by Leon and his minions. So when he says they've been taken over by third parties that want to damage Leon's message and the truth, no, it's literally Leon and his minions. I've seen 4 community notes that were an abject lie. One was about Van Rensburg, the brown shirt. They keep trying to push that wasn't Van Rensburg there at that door when Maxine Waters showed up. That was Van Rensburg at that door, and they're furious that you know that. And they keep putting fake pictures up, and fake accounts keep coming saying they know Harrison, the guy it was supposed to be. No, Van Rensburg knew Harrison, and so did Leon, because they looked at the roster and took an employee's name before Maxine got there. Probably made a fake ID, too. That'd be nothing for Van Rensburg. He can make one like that. Nothing. So according to Leon, Community Notes is full of lies. No, it's usually the truth, except for when Leon and his minions really need to hide something, like Van Rensburg. They need that to go away. That looked real bad. A literal brown shirt South African cybersecurity person guarding the door. Looked horrible. And Van Rensburg and Leon are pissed that that name came out. And it was him. I'm sorry. Just please don't even say it wasn't him. I can tell by the effort of trolling. I can tell by Leon's community note effort. Yet he left the post still up on the woman that posted it. Didn't take it down for misinformation. Leon could do that. You know why Leon didn't do that? Because she has a whole thread about how it's Van Rensburg. When she searched the pictures of all the different pictures people are putting up online of Van Rensburg and Harrison, none of them come up in any search. She's got a whole thread, whole thing. Brilliant work the woman did. She gets community noted, but Leon doesn't take it down. It's misinformation, right, Leon? Oh, well, the community note took care of it, right, Leon? No, I didn't buy it. In fact, the second I saw the community note, that's when I said to myself, now I know it's him. I know it's Van Rensburg now. And the 17,000 trolls that came to the woman's account, that told me, oh, I know it's him now. In other words, Leon, you proved it to me that it was Van Rensburg. And again, if it was wrong, why not just take the post down? You have no problem taking other posts down and banning other people. You know why Leon didn't take it down, people? Because if he takes it down, it draws too much attention. And they don't want no attention on this Van Rensburg thing. That's why I'm drawing attention to it. Every day. Again, a literal fucking brown shirt. Nazi from South Africa standing at a door when American officials are trying to walk in. You can't make this fucking shit up. And then they lie about it the next day and pretend it didn't happen and say it's some guy named Harrison. Get the fuck out of here. So sad this is my existence on this planet, that I have to be near you people. Van Rensburg, Leon. I have to live in a world manipulated by those abject fucking cretins. Thank Jesus they go and write the fuck in the link. At some point, that we may be rid of they stench and the marring of our world. As in their infinite fucking wisdom, the best thing they have to preach and promote is white supremacy and Nazism. That's the depth of their fucking soul on this planet, of their experience. Let me preach Nazism. Let me live out a religion made by Satan himself, carried out by one of his beasts, Mr. Hitler, with the fucked up mustache and the stupid ass Charlie Chaplin pants. Fucking ridiculous that anyone takes that seriously. And all it tells me, anyone that agrees or is even slightly down with the Nazi ideology, all that tells me is you have negative infinity wisdom. You're envying an ideology and a man who brought the world and his country to fucking ruin. Napoleon as well. Look who Donnie Shitbag's quoting, Napoleon. Another one. Brought his country, his army, and himself to fucking ruin. These are your heroes, the Confederate heroes of the South. Again, brought the South to fucking ruin. How many of you rube idiots, your ancestors, fought that fucking useless war over, we like having free black people to do all the work. And we keep all the money. We like that. So we're going to fight a war over that. Again, losers. Ideology based on Satan, or straight from Satan. And all it did was bring the South to ruin. It's just funny, you guys are all about movements that all ended in fucking abject, ruin and horror. The Nazis, the French under Napoleon, the South, in America, these are all your causes? All the Satanists throughout time that wanted to enslave other people? Or exterminate other people? Or lynch other people? These are the people you envy. And you're going to dare stand before God someday and say you're a Christian, right? No, you're the hand of Satan. You've always been. Unless you turn away. View of Leon SpaceX space junk burning through the atmosphere over Denmark this morning. A gentle reminder that he is saving the world, that's in quotes, sending up many rockets with thousands of satellites each year with a lifespan of only 5 years before crashing back into Earth. This sounds great to have Leon in charge of this, doesn't it? That's what this looks like. And again, there's this quote that keeps coming to mind when I see these rocket explosions and this re-entry of space junk, because Leon is putting satellite after satellite in space and probably charging other people to put satellites in space for God knows what nefarious purpose. I guarantee Starlink and AI will all be linked together. So the new AI is like some god or something. Because, you know, Satan's got to have his new creation. And cunts like Leon and Altman and others got to give it to him. But anyway, there's a piece of scripture that comes to mind when I keep seeing these. He will make fire rain from the heavens in sight of men, or in the sight of men. It's the second photo since they've gotten their Reich going back in November that I've seen that looks like this. Literal fire raining from the heavens. In the sight of men. Global now with social media and news reporting and television. Fascinating. That's with the black border behind it. I wish that I could get that shine off, but I can't. I'm sorry. Fire raining from the heavens in the sight of men and exercising the full authority of the first beast. Have we ever seen this before? No. Here's a scene from Russia again, what I begged all of you and the oligarchy not to turn our country into, but you knew better. So here we are in Russia too. New Rome. But this is real Russia. Kremlin fascists accidentally raided Young Eagles Children's Martial Arts Academy looking for cannon fodder in Krasnodar on February 13th. The blunder was hushed up, but info leaked today. They left empty-handed after citing the business for not having a cash register. That's in quotes. They cited the business because they had to put, give a reason why they were there. A pretend reason when they were really there to round up young boys to throw in the front on Ukraine, just like Hitler did. It's a brilliant movie, Jojo Rabbit, that showed that concept. How by the end, Germany had boys fighting. Real boys, 10-year-old, 12. There was no one left. The Germans, Americans, Europeans, Canadians, they had killed all the Nazis everywhere else. Except for, when they got to Germany, there was no one left to fight. But boys. That's exactly what Vlad's doing right here. And when you watch the video, the boys are all scared shitless. These men with machine guns bust in there while they're trying to do their stupid little, karate practice. You got guys in combat fatigues and machine guns, if you watch the video, burst in there like gangbusters. These kids are scared shitless. This is Russia, too. They might get gunned down for all they fucking know by the government. So the men came in, I guess they saw the boys, or maybe they realized they were being filmed. and that film had gotten out, because some of the boys look, for a guy like Hitler or Putin, big enough to put a uniform on to me. So I'm assuming the only reason they didn't take any of them is because it all got filmed and it got leaked out and they didn't want people seeing it. Unfortunately, people did see it, but they backed down at the last second and didn't take any of the boys. So what you do see when you play the video, and I posted the link and the video in the post section on YouTube here, you see men with fatigues and machine guns rush in. A bunch of 13-year-old boys are practicing their karate, and they scared shitless, and they're getting down on the ground, and they don't know what's going on. And you see the men in fatigue start inspecting the boys, like, oh, is there any good ones we can take here? And please, Vlad, and throw some more meat on the front line that'll never come home again. Because that's what Vlad thinks of every one of you Russian citizens. He could fucking care less about you. That's why he does this. Goes to karate schools. That's why he empties out the fucking prisons and allows these rapists and cannibals and serial killers back into your fucking society. After they go AWOL from Ukraine or whatever, or they do their tour. They come right back to your neighborhood. Just like here, all the J6 people that all have all these other criminal activity going on. They pedophiles, they this, they that. You know, they're being sought for activity with a minor. Those people got released back into your neighborhoods. Are you happy about that, Rubes? That's good to you, right? We'll see how good it is when it affects you or your children. Allowing criminals back into your community because, you know, they got an R next to their name. They part of the cult. So, you know what? We don't care you're a pedophile or you did this. Or come on, you know, come back into our neighborhood. As long as Donnie says it's cool. This is where we go and shit like this. I told you there's going to be a big battle in the future. They might do shit like this in America in the future. Round boys up for this big battle. It's going to be a real important battle. And remember, the battle ends up like a wine press. Again, those old ladies stomping in the vat of grapes in Italy. That's the way the battlefield ends up. Blood, horse bridle deep. Do you hear me? That's where you're going to get called to. Hopefully you don't go. Here's Leon. You're going to help rescue 2 astronauts? Musk. They were left up there for political reasons. How does the Botox look? Does it look okay? Is my cheek plump enough? So yes, this lie that's been going on, that the astronauts, Biden didn't want the evil Joe Biden, because you people eat this shit up with a spoon. Evil Joe Biden left some astronauts up in the space station because he just didn't care about them. But Leon cared about him and offered to save him, and Biden said no. Yeah, that's abject bullshit. That's not true. At all whatsoever. And how do we know that? Well, Space Commander co-signs what I'm saying after he watched the Leon interview. Space Commander Andreas Mogensen. I'd never heard of this person before today. And my God, I'm so glad I heard of him now. What a lie. And from someone who complains about lack of honesty from the mainstream media. Wow, even Andreas Mogensen up in the fucking space station knows Leon is a piece of shit liar. And he's saying it. So here's what Leon had to say specifically to that person. Yes, you see the line going from Andreas's account down to Leon's account. Here's Leon. You are fully retarded. Yes, Leon loves calling people retarded because that's what kids called him. That's what his teachers called him when he was a kid. They called him a retard. So Leon is now giving that behavior back to the world. You are fully retarded. And he's talking to the Space Commander when he's calling the Space Commander retarded. Leon's not retarded. The Space Commander's retarded. That's where we at in Nazi 1984 dystopia land in the year of our Lord 2025. Well done, Rubes. SpaceX could have brought them back several months ago. I offered this directly, that's in caps, to the Biden administration, and they refused. Return was, that's in caps. Push back for political reasons, idiot. No, it wasn't. I don't think it was political at all. If even part of this story is true, they probably just said, well, Leon's a Russian asset and his rockets explode all the time. Maybe we don't want Leon bringing him back. You know, that's a serious consideration. And if I was one of the astronauts, I might, you know what? Maybe Leon's rockets aren't the best. That's even if that part of the story is true. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Because Leon's a compulsive liar. And Leon's has called a bunch of people retarded, and every single time I've looked into it, it turns out Leon's the retarded one, and the other person was actually telling the truth. So I'm going to run with Space Commander. Here's the question you have to ask yourself: do you believe a bloated, pasty South African, daddy's boy rich kid who never did a hard day's work in his life and is always bought in and dismantled and looted and lied all day, every day? I've caught him in a million lies. Guy lies like he breathes, just like Donnie. Am I going to believe that entity, the one who threw up the Nazi salute, the one who just looted our country for $440 billion? Am I going to believe him, or am I going to believe Space Commander? I'm going with Space Commander. I don't know about you. Over the Nazi salute guy, who has the Hitler Youth, a bunch of young boys following him around for some reason. Nobody knows. I'm going with Space Commander on this one. So yes, that's where we're at. The false prophet, co-president Leon Scum is calling Space Commander a retard. Wow, what the level of discourse you MAGA folk have got us all involved in. I'm just astounded. And yeah, thanks, Rubes. This is what we got too. Get me some juice, bitch. That's Leon's kid telling Donnie to get him some fucking juice, and he better be snappy with that shit. You know what else that kid told Donnie? He told him to go get his fucking shine box. And Donnie went and got his fucking shine box too. That's right. Get me some juice, bitch. That's what you people have done. Did you like that little scene? The South African oligarch's, 4-year-old child telling Donnie to fuck off. He's not the president. Tell him to shut up. Tell him to get him some juice, bitch. Now, he didn't say that one, but, he was about to. And Donnie was about to go get it, too. That's what you've done to your country. You have your president sitting there as a South African oligarch who bought Donnie and therefore got the country for free because you rubes are that stupid. That kid's there saying that he's not the president, telling him to shut up. And was an inch away from saying, get me some juice, bitch. Mitch McConnell. He won't seek re-election. He's ending record-breaking tenure. Wow. Now that Mitch has basically handed our country over to the Russians via his involvement in MAGA, via Mitch taking, $2 billion or something from a Russian oligarch for Kentucky for an aluminum plant that never got built. You rubes in Kentucky that vote for this monstrosity. Whatever happened to that aluminum plant? Did that ever get built, or did Mitch just pocket that fucking money? Him and the boys. I'm assuming they pocketed the money since the plant never got built. Money came straight from a Russian oligarch. That was early in Trump's first presidency. Mitch had no fucking problem with it. Now that he's been relegated to irrelevant by the Nazi movement and the Hitler Youth and Donnie and Leon, now he wants to, cash out his chips. Piece of shit. I blame Mitch McConnell more for where we are at right now than Donnie shitbags, than Leon Scum. Without Mitch, none of it could have happened. Mitch could have got a caucus up on impeachment 1, impeachment 2, and disqualified him for any future elections. Nazi movement done. Mitch McConnell did one good thing in his life. Nope, that ain't the story of Mitch. Mitch just kept on never doing one good thing. And the only reason Mitch and Susan Collins voted against some of these nominees is because they knew the rest of the Republicans were going to get it through. Didn't fool me. Susan Collins is a worthless piece of waste of oxygen shit. And so is Mitch. I didn't buy any of the theater. Oh, wow, Susan Collins didn't vote for Patel. That's because she knew everyone else was going to vote for Patel. Otherwise, she would have stepped right in line and voted for him, too. Mitch, too, all the nominees he voted against, that's because he knew the other Republicans and Democrats were going to get him through. I've seen that little play about 1 million times in politics over the past 30 years. Here's Leon again. He's back on that space commander. And Ron says, posted minutes after the commander of the ISS said Musk lied about the stranded astronauts in his Fox interview with Trump. Again, so you have the commander of the space station saying Leon is outright lying. But Leon is on a television show with joke-ass Hannity who would stab his grandma for $1. So we believe Hannity and we believe Leon, right? Not the commander of the motherfucking space team. The Rubes did not even know this man's name until today, and neither did I, because I don't give a fuck about the space station. But the Rubes did not even know the commander's name before today or yesterday, and I guarantee they hate him now. Just because the guy had the audacity to tell the truth about Leon. They gotta hate him now. I guarantee that's the sentiment from Magaland towards Space Commander. You know what I think of Space Commander? I think he's one of the coolest motherfuckers ever. This motherfucker in space, allegedly, in a capsule of some sort. A group of capsules connected together under weightlessness. And he's still tweeting out that Leon Scum is an abject liar. From space. From space, Leon's being told he's bullshit. And I don't know, that motherfucker has some serious credentials. Space Commander of the ISS? I mean, who the fuck else has that title? So, Space Commander, what do you think about Leon Scum's comments? Yeah, Leon's lying. Leon's retort, you're a retard. You're retarded. My teachers were lying when they said I was retarded. No, Space Commander, you're bloody retarded. We'll see who's retarded when Leon's trying to swim in the lake. Anyway, this is for the Rubes right here, because I know you guys don't know this. You just vote, you just want to own the libs. You don't care if, your house is burning down. You just got to make sure you own the libs. You'll even say the fire is a good thing that's burning down your house. As long as it was a Republican that said it. That is a great analogy. And it just came to me. Thanks to your Rubes. Wait a minute. I know my house is burning down. But who set the fire? Was they a liberal? Or was they, a MAGA Republican like me? Because if it was, I just got to let it burn. But if it was a liberal, I got to put that fire out. That is your existence. And by the time you're ready to put out, like Katie Britton, a line of GOP politicians, Donnie's fucking killing us, man. I got motherfuckers with pitchforks out front of my fucking house. I can't even fucking go home. Donnie's killing this looting, this grifting shit. We didn't know how bad it was going to get. We thought he was going to have some self-control. No, Miss Britt. The monster you all have created has no self-control. And I've been saying that for 8 years. And I know some of you know who I am. I guarantee it. I'm on a list somewhere. You didn't listen. You thought you could control this beast. What have I been saying to all you people? Everybody thought they could control the beast. Has anyone controlled him thus far? Even Leon, whose little child is there telling him to go get my juice, bitch. Can't control Donnie's shitbags. The kids seem to be able to do it, though. Donnie just sitting there with the mean face like I'm not listening. There wasn't one toddler there. There was 2. Actually 3, but one of them was preoccupied with the press, lying his face off to them. With this prepared, people, we have a mandate and blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. You fat South African fuck. You ain't got jack shit, son, but a date with the lake. That's all you got. So for the rubes, with FEMA gone, when communities are destroyed from natural disasters, billionaires can buy that land for pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar, you say. Yeah. That's what gutting FEMA and not caring about natural disasters and fucking farmers over. That's part of that agenda. So that farmland that's been in your, family for 19 generations, whatever the fuck, that's worth millions of dollars. So they can come in and buy it up for nothing and add it to the Walmart farms. You know what I mean? And, just a thought for all you scumbag corporations that want to do mega farming and have these animals living in abject, horrible conditions, basically living in their own feces for their entire existence before you kill them. Perhaps bird flu and stuff like that has been spreading during this modern era, this industrial age. Perhaps corporate farming has something to do with it. It's just a thought, when you think about a farm that has like 1 million chickens on it, that's too big, son. Do you get that concept? We need smaller farms that don't have 1 million chickens. Normal farms, not mega corporate farms. And what have they been doing to the heartland since the 80s? They've been turning it into mega corporate farms, haven't they? They've been waiting till you poor rubes run out of money. Ronald Reagan and his buddies, that's who I'm talking about. The hero of the Republican Party. He did a lot of helping you farmers out, didn't he? That's why hardly any of you have a farm now, right? Because Reagan helped you out so much. So this problem's been going on since the 80s. The rich people, they just wait for the rube farmer to run out of resources or have a problem or whatever. Miss 4 payments. And then they come in and take it all that's been in your family for 3 generations. And you voted for it over and over and over and over and over again. And it's the same concept now, rubes. When your farmland gets devastated, no federal money, fuck off. That's Donnie's money. Oh, you're going to lose your farm? Oh, you're going to lose your trading partner? Whatever. My buddy will come in and buy it for half the price or 1/3. Who gives a fuck about you? That's how they look at you. And that's what they've been doing to you since the 80s. And you keep voting for it. Therefore, you're a dumbass. I hate to break it to you. As smart as your family's been for all these years running those farms, because it does take smarts to run a farm. And I know that even though I've never run one. I know there's a science to growing food and how to do it and how to lay out the fields and everything according to how the water, when it rains, where's the runoff going to go? All that shit has to be taken. There's a whole science to growing food and raising animals and all that. And those people know how to do it. That's a serious important skill that not all of us have. What I'm trying to say is, I actually know that you have that skill. Unfortunately, what you don't have is the ability to see through the con. And you're a little, racially biased, let's be honest. That's where you are found wanting, not your farming skills, because I consider those very valuable. And that's actual science and knowledge that a family could use to survive during societal breakdown or before the modern era where, you had to have an outhouse and no plumbing and churn butter and grow crops. And if you didn't do that, you didn't eat. Anyway. Oh, this is the sociopath they've been waiting for. This is the nomination Donnie's really been waiting to see. And I can't believe this cunt got through. He was the one I thought that maybe a few would say no to. There must be some real threats going out because everybody Donnie picked just got right in. And I knew that would happen. I said that before any of these picks had their hearings. I said every one of them will get in. If you expect Republicans to all of a sudden grow a spine now, you are sorely mistaken, son. This cross-eyed, utterly unqualified sociopath. Every picture I ever look at this man and see his face, he might as well have sociopath written across his forehead. This man is utterly unstable, sociopathic. He's willing to do anything. Why do you think Donnie picked him? And let's be honest with the last name Patel. How many heads of the FBI named Patel have we seen? Oh, 0. All of a sudden, we trust in a man of Middle Eastern descent with the last name Patel, with one of the whitest fucking organizations that ever existed, the FBI. And these are white supremacists and Nazis putting him in that position. Do you hear me? They don't like him. You saw what happened to Mr. Ramaswamy, right? Once they didn't need him anymore, he's just out the picture. He might as well be dead. You don't hear jack shit about Ramaswamy no more because they used him and they kicked him to the fucking curb. And we all know why they kicked him to the curb. Because he looks different than the rest of them. Did you notice that? And his name sure sounds different. Ramaswamy. I knew they'd throw him to the curb. Because Nazis, white supremacists, evil. Once they don't need you no more, you turncoats out there, you're garbage. Now, Mr. Patel, they still need. They need a sycophant as sociopathic as Patel to be head of the FBI. Why? Because they're going to use the FBI to go after most of you. Dissidents, opposition, other government people that they don't like. That's what Mr. Patel is for, because he's the willing, junkyard dog to go after people. He has no shame, no morals, no decency. This man will do so much evil. This is the one I was worried about. And again, any rube or troll, when he say this is a good thing, oh, he's going to lock you up, he's going to lock people up, he's going to lock you up, Nick. Again, that's not a good thing, Rube. And again, it don't matter what country you live in. This Antichrist, this Reich, this maniac is coming for you too. And honestly, I've already contemplated all those situations. I know what's going to happen to me. And I'm prepared for that. Mentally. And I know what's going to happen to them afterwards. And I'm really prepared for that mentally. That's going to be fun. I'm going to just have the best time. At the party at the lake. And Mr. Patel will be one of the honored guests. I may ask the man to let me have him myself. And I won't explain what that entails. It's a whole higher thing that most of you know nothing about. Kash Patel once suggested that people in government all have to agree with the commander-in-chief or they could be thrown in jail. Well, that's why Kash got hired. You don't agree with the regime? Let me throw you in jail. I'm willing to do that. I'm the ultimate sycophant. Again, here's Psycho. Cross-eyed psycho. Cross-eyed sociopath. There he is again. Check out some pictures of Mr. Patel. Again, he's got sociopath written all over him. And the fact that the way I know that he's a DEI hire, that they can't stand him, they hate his people, they hate what he represents, that's not why he's there. He's there because he's willing. That's it. They know what a sociopath he is. They know what he's willing to do. And they don't want it on their heads. They want him to do it. They think that's going to get them out of liability in some way, in this realm or the next. Oh, son. Fat Donnie and Fat Leon. It won't get you out of any liability here or there. Having Mr. Patel do your dirty work. That won't help your cause in any way, shape, or form. You're still going in, and so's Mr. Patel. At first, if I have anything to say about it, because I know what you people are going to do to people. You may think I'm being harsh when I speak this way about these people. You don't know what they're about to do, and you don't know what they have done. I do. And so does he. And boy, do they have a party coming. Oh, and more evidence of the new 1984. So if you criticize Leon scum, Trump's DOJ will send you this letter. Members of Congress must have the right to forcefully oppose the Trump administration. I will not be silenced. This is Robert Garcia. Unfortunately, Mr. Garcia, you will be silenced. A lot of people will. And they're going to have to do that because animosity is going to build against these people. By the hour, by the day. And it will get out of control. And it's already starting to, which I'll get to soon, hopefully. I can't believe how long this is. I didn't mean to be on for 3 fucking hours here. So, okay, so if you criticize Musk, you're going to get one of these letters. And this is 1984 straight up territory. And there's another very willing sycophant, whoever, Edward R. Martin Jr. My God, what a sycophant. And Mr. Martin, again, I have to say it, even though I know what you're going to do, but I work for somebody, so I have to say it. Mr. Martin, either turn away now or face judgment like you've never faced. And face your date with the lake. And I don't care what legal authority you think you have in this plane. It won't help you. It's meaningless. So you have one last chance, Mr. Martin, to turn away. I know you won't. I have faith in you that you won't. Don't worry. I believe in you. Otherwise, you face the lake as well. Sorry, Mr. Martin. Have your fun now, though. I hope you enjoy it. Get all the mistresses in, the expensive cars, the threats. Get it all in now. Because your story ends soon. Permanently. On the other side. I wouldn't want you to think that's a physical threat. You fucking cunt. I can't call you what I really want to call you. Some people might get offended. I'm trying to be a nice guy, as nice as I can. Here we go. Dear Rep Garcia, as United States Attorney for D.C., I receive requests for information and clarification. I take these requests seriously and act on them with letters like this one you are receiving. So he's basically admitting if the right person complains about you, Mr. Martin, as an attorney, as Donnie's personal lawyer, even though he's not that, we'll send you this letter and try and intimidate you and scare you and threaten you. At least Mr. Martin's being honest. At this time, and notice the person isn't named. It never is on this website. Any of you cunts in the corporate thing, when someone complains, no one ever wants to put their name on it. Do you notice that? Because you're all cunts and you're all pussies. And what would any of you be without the little corporate protective bubble? You'd be somebody's bitch. That's what you would be. In about 3 seconds. At this time, I respectfully request that you clarify your comments from February 12th, 2025, during a live interview with CNN. When asked how Democrats can stop Elon Musk, you spoke clearly. What the American people wants is for us to bring actual weapons to this bar fight. This is an actual fight for democracy. So we know who called up. It was Leon. This is dangerous fucking territory. The rhetoric I've heard from you cunt rubes in the cult, and Donnie especially, over the years, straight up incitement of riots and starting riots and trying to overthrow our country. And you're going to take this comment as some type of threat? Really? That's where we're going? When MAGA threatens people all day? When this letter's very threatening right here. Again, the guy's speaking metaphorically, and it's obvious. Because there's been a lot of criticism that Democrats ain't fighting hard enough. They ain't fighting dirty enough. They ain't fighting hard enough. And that's what he's trying to say. That we need to fight harder. He wasn't threatening anyone. But again, Leon complained. So we got to intimidate. We got to threaten. We got to try and scare people into not talking. This will get worse. We didn't see these in the beginning, remember? Then we started to see these letters go out by this sycophant attorney destined for the lake. This is very dangerous 1984 territory, rubes. That I never thought I'd really see. This sounds to some like a threat to Mr. Musk, an appointed representative of President Donald Trump, who you call a dick? A dick. That's in quotes. And government staff who work for him. Their concerns have led to this inquiry. Well, Mr. Martin, Leon Scum is a dick. And so are you, Mr. Martin. You're a dick too. And those Hitler Youth, they're cunts. And they're dickheads. Fuck you and them. Fuck Leon Scum, too. Can I get my letter now? Again, I can't really call you what I want to call you. Maybe when I see you in person, or Mr. Patel in person, that's when I'll call you it. Right to your fucking face. Should be fun. Until, punch me quiet when I'm tied up to a chair or something. Because ain't a one of you bitches would take me on one-on-one, let's be honest. Not without cuffs in a chair. Like the movies. Or worse. I already know this. I've already seen it. I already know what's going to happen. And again, guess what I fear more? What's going to happen to you? I fear that more. Because I know that too. And even though I know what's going to happen to me, I'd still rather be me than you. What does that tell you, son? Dickhead? Sticking up for dickheads and Nazis? Being a good little sycophant? Just like Goebbels? Fucking cunt. This sounds like a threat to Mr. Musk, an appointed blah, 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 who's looting and dismantling your country. No, that's not in there. I get. And government staff who works for him. Their concerns have led to this. Oh, their concerns. Wow. They actually admitted it was Leon and the Hitler Youth who have the entire U.S. government behind them. Wow. I'm really impressed. So they're straight up admitting if you talk shit on Leon or the Hitler Youth, you might get a letter from the Gestapo, which Mr. Martin is now the head of. And what is that? Edward R. Martin Jr. I'll have a picture of him shortly to show you, okay? Maybe I'll put it up in the post section. That way we all know who, who's making these proclamations. on Leon's behalf and the Hitler Youth's behalf. I think that's, worth reporting on, don't you? We take threats against public officials very seriously. There was no threat, though. This is a threat, this letter. I look forward to your cooperation, my letter of inquiry. Thank you in advance for your assistance. Please respond by whatever. Should you have further questions regarding this matter, please do not, as I wouldn't even respond to this. Again, this is a lawyer reaching, trying to scare people when they have no authority to scare because no crime's been committed. Good luck prosecuting this in court. And Mr. Martin, every one of these letters you send out, you're just making it worse and worse. You're just going to turn more people against you, son. And, there's this interesting trend I've noticed. There are several people, and I'm just mentioning this for no reason at all. They keep posting pictures of Mussolini. I don't know why they're doing that. They just keep posting random pictures of Mussolini after he died. I don't know what they're trying to say to you. Maybe you guys out there know what they're trying to say. Maybe you know what Mr. Martin's trying to say with this letter that literally admits the Hitler Youth and Leon are pissed that they got called a dick by Mr. Garcia. And again, Hitler Youth and Leon, did you think dismantling and looting our country was going to go smoothly for you? Nope, not here and not in the next place. And boy, wait till you got to deal with me in the next place. Ooh, that's going to be fun. No Mr. Martin to protect you there, son. Just me. No bodyguards, no lies, no smear campaigns. Just me and just fire. That's all. And I don't care what happens to me afterwards. Just as long as I get to have my party at the lake. Because I don't value any of this. None of it. It's a fucking joke, and it's been a joke since the day I took my first breath. And I'm not talking about my existence. I'm talking about this world. That's the only fucking joke I see. Mr. Martin's a great example. Edward R. Martin Jr. Great example of a joke. And why I despise existence. Because I have to be near cunts like this. I have to breathe the same air they do. As they think they're better than other people. When all they are is, kindling for the lake. That's all they ever were from day one. Before they were in their mother's womb. They were dead before they were born. They don't even know it. Again, the past, present, and future all one. And it's written that they're dead. So they're dead. That's simple. Don't matter how many threatening letters you sent out, son. You're still dead. From before the time you were born. You've been dead this whole time. You just don't know it yet. Back to Leon and Donnie's interview where they assured us, with Hannity, I believe this was, they assured us that Donnie was going to keep an eye on Leon even after Leon looted that $440 billion. Donnie's going to make sure there's no conflicts of interest and that, Leon can't take advantage because Donnie will handle it. But then there was this other thing said, and someone sent this to me. I didn't know it was said because I can't watch every interview with these cunts. I don't have time. But I can give you the basic sense of what's going on. And, I'm going to miss some things here and there. This person sent this to me. Watch Leon Scum. This idea people can escape to New Zealand is false. Somehow the fall of America got brought up. I don't know how. Again, I didn't watch the interview. I only watched clips of it. So Donnie starts talking about if the fall of America happens, this happens. And then Leon jumps in. And he said something like, and they almost pretend to be human sometimes. They even get me, on board thinking they're human for a moment. And my God, they are not. Big mistake to give these people the benefit of the doubt in any way. They are evil incarnate. And you're going to learn that more and more over time. And I know that's been said about a lot of people. These two are different. And if you haven't noticed yet, you gon' notice. Don't worry. So Leon says in a very kind of sincere and caring way, if America falls, this idea people can escape to New Zealand is just false. Like that's not going to work. Now, there's been stories about certain oligarchs building bunkers in New Zealand and stuff like that, and that's not what Leon really thinks. Leon and people like Donnie, they have a place to go in case America falls. That's been arranged way in advance. These guys are, they got money, especially Leon. So any bunker, whatever they got going, that's way in advance. And now since they're the government, well, they got NORAD and all that bullshit to go hide in. And funny, there's a piece of scripture that talks about the people that took the mark and some of the kings of the earth hiding in caves and asking the rocks to fall on us inside the caves rather than face the wrath of God. So how frightening, how bloody fucking terrifying is the wrath of God if men are saying, can we please die? Can the rocks fall on us? That we may not have to face the wrath of God. It must be pretty bad, right? I would say, yeah, it's pretty fucking bad. And that's written, and it will be done. That's what you people don't get. It's part of the story I haven't quite told yet. And quickly, everyone that takes the mark, and especially the leaders, the persecution you will face while you're on earth after that moment. Horrifying. Much more horrifying than anything these sociopath cunts like Leon, Donnie, Hegseth, Patel, much more horrifying than anything they're capable of. Believe that. Anyway, back to this idea people can escape to New Zealand. I agree with that sentiment, but in a different way. Let me really break it down for you. Leon's saying it as if he's actually concerned for the human race. No, he's not. What he's concerned with is people fleeing America. Notice they fucked with the FAA first. Notice how many planes are going down. I don't know. I have a feeling they were worried about a mass exodus from America for some reason. What could it be? The concentration camps, the brown shirts, the Hitler Youth, them stealing all your information and all of our classified secrets? What could it be, I wonder? So Leon made that comment because people have bunkers and stuff in New Zealand. I believe Zuckerberg was building one somewhere, Hawaii, New Zealand, something. They all have it. All these centibillionaires, they got a bunker somewhere in case nuclear war, societal breakdown, whatever. They make sure they never have to face what any of us would face. But here's the thing about this story and this specific time. This is the one time the elites and the kings don't just get to go run and hide. They have to face the wrath, man. And their money don't stop it. Their bodyguards don't stop it. Their armies don't stop it. The wrath hits them head on, or direct hit. There's no avoiding it this time. That's what I'm trying to tell all you people. This is different. People will pay the price this time, and not the way you're thinking. All the libs are going to pay the price. They're all going to get executed, blah, blah, blah. Some of them will, but not all of them. But you people, every single one that takes the mark and all the leaders of the beast system, which is coming real soon. We're already here. It's just not fully instituted yet. The shit that happens to you people, you don't even want to know. But my point, what Leon was trying to say is the fall of America would affect everyone. And you wouldn't be able to go hide in New Zealand. Of course it would affect everyone, but yes, you would be able to go hide in New Zealand. But here's the thing. This Reich, this thing is going to go global. This wanting you to be on crypto is going to go global. It's not just going to be an America thing. I don't think it is. If it is, I'd be surprised. In other words, that's why I keep telling people, it don't matter where you're trolling from. This Reich is coming to your doorstep. It doesn't matter what country you're in. Notice how Vlad's at your doorstep in a lot of democratic countries. This time is different. It's going to affect the whole globe. We had a plague last time that affected the whole globe. Donnie was president. So, although the sentiment that Elon's putting out there that you can't just escape to New Zealand and avoid this forever, I agree with that statement. If you would have added forever, for a while, as long as you get out of America, you're going to avoid a lot of problems for a while. Eventually, though, it will find you in New Zealand, in Australia, in wherever you are. In Russia, in a basement with 90 smartphones. It already affected you. You haven't had anything for hundreds of years as a nation. You've been looted. It's going to find everyone. Why? Because it's different this time. This isn't the typical cliche moment in history where everyone just gets away with it and the poor suffer and no one's held accountable and blah, blah. And we just go on to the next election and the next. No, it's over. America and the world. It's over. Does that mean the world's going to blow up? Of course not. Does that mean there's going to be war, strife, plagues, all kinds of bad things? Absolutely. It's all over. And guess what else is over? Certain people getting off, getting away with their crimes all the time because they have money, bodyguards, government that they've bought, etc., or are in power like these two, since the Rubes gave it to them. Those people are going to pay a heavy price, and everyone that follows them is going to pay a heavy price. And everything I'm seeing, I'm not seeing anything that tells me that's not going to happen, and that these aren't the two I think they are. Again, I really wanted to be wrong, people. I didn't want to be right. Again, I'm not that guy who wants to be right all the time. I've got to be right. No. I'm just calling what I see here. And what I see is it checks all the boxes. What I see is even Donnie's scared sometimes about what he's doing. Even Leon's scared sometimes, because that little bit of humanity that they have inside them, they know it's wrong. They know their soul is in utter peril. They know what they preaching is evil as fuck. But they too deep in now. So my point is, you can go somewhere for now, get out of the United States. I'd still do it, just to enjoy what little time I have left. Why the fuck would I want to be here in this Nazi regime? The fuck am I going to get out of that? So if I had the means, I would go to another country. And eventually it's going to come to your doorstep there. But you know what? You're going to get more time than everyone in America. Because by this time next year, again, I guarantee you won't recognize this nation. It'll be a totally different animal. It's already 1/3 there, a totally different animal. They're just dismantling everything at breakneck speed. And there ain't jack shit we can do about it. And even if we tried, it's got to play out. I told you that. Once you people made the decision to choose the apocalypse, well, that's what you get, baby. You get the apocalypse. You wanted it. You got it. So although Leon is saying it for a different reason, I'm saying it for another reason. Wherever you go, it may give you a little more time because you're not in the actual Nazi regime under the thumb of it. We are here in America. And the Rubes never went through dictatorship yet, but they're about to. And boy, is that going to be a rude awakening for them. And it's a shame it's going to take full-blown dictatorship for any of them to change their mind at this point. And I don't even expect many of them to anyway. But whatever, it's your prerogative to take the mark and get tortured by the wrath of God, or not take the mark and get executed by Satan and his people, Patel and those people. I'm choosing the execution, personally. One, because I have to, because of who I am, and who I work for. And if I shy away from it, then I'm going to have a real problem with somebody. And I was given certain knowledge. Now I have a responsibility to share that. Whether you call me crazy, whether you troll against me, lie about me, whatever you want to spend your last minutes on. Because that's what we're in. We're in the last minutes. And if I don't, I'm going to have a real problem with somebody. And that's who I'm worried about. I ain't worried about none of you people. Oh, here's Leon on the Space Commander again. And this so-called commander doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. Dude has no clue what's really going on. He's a passenger. He's calling the Space Commander a passenger. Fat-ass Leon scum, whose baby mamas are all over the internet trying to get a hold of him. His whack-ass baby mamas at that, too. Wow, calling a guy who tells 97 lies a day at least, and that's just in public, Leon scum. Again, calling the Space Commander a passenger, and that he's in the station, son. But Space Commander doesn't know what's going on, but Leon does. I'm going with Space Commander. I don't know about you. You didn't know Donnie's been a Russian asset for a long time. I know. And you wouldn't acknowledge it even if I showed you, his his Employee of the Month certificate that Vlad gave him. You still wouldn't believe it. I know, Rubes. But again, we from New York and Jersey, we kind of knew what was up before you Rubes ever saw Honey Boo Boo or saw Donnie say you're fired. In 1987, I worked in the 6th Department of the KGB of the USSR in Moscow. And this isn't the only Russian ex-KGB that says Donnie's a Russian asset, by the way. Let me plug my phone in before it goes dead. And it's probably going to get hot in a second, so got to be quick with this. The 6th Department of the KGB of the USSR in Moscow. The most important area of work of the 6th Department was the acquisition of spies and sources of information from among businessmen of capitalist countries. So this has been a goal of Vlad's for a long time. Again, Vlad played the long game. He went after capitalist businessmen in capitalist countries. It was in that year that our department recruited the 40-year-old businessman from the USA, Donald Trump, nicknamed Krasnov. I'd never heard this Krasnov word before, but the second I read this today, I said, I got to know what Krasnov means. And I knew it was going to be something fucked up. I knew it was going to be something fucking horrible, because that's the way Russians look at traitors. Even if you're working with them, they still look at you as a scumbag because you're snitching on your people, you turncoating on your people. A lot of people look at traitors that way. We'll use you for now, Once we're done with you, you're going to the gulag and getting executed too. Happens over and over and over and over throughout history. These movements get a turncoat and they act like they like them. And then at the end, when they don't need them anymore, they just execute them because they never had respect for him in the least. But let me try and read this. And the word Krasnov comes from an actual man, a Russian man from back in the day. He was like a general. I'm going to read it here. Pyotr Nikolaevich Krasnov, Russian. Born September 22, 1869, St. Petersburg, Russian Empire. Died January 1947, age 77. Wow, he lived that long, huh? Okay, now let's read quickly about him. Krasnov served as a lieutenant general in the Imperial Russian Army during World War I and later led anti-Bolshevik forces during the Russian Civil War, where he served as the ataman of the Don Republic. Approximately 25,000 to 40,000 people were executed by Krasnov's White Cossacks, which lasted until the Red Army conquered the region following their victory at Saracen. After the Civil War, he lived in exile. Does that sound familiar? Napoleon was in exile. Hitler was jailed for a while, which I kind of call an exile. Donnie was down at Mar-a-Lago for a while in kind of an exile. Napoleon, again, he was in exile. During World War II, Krasnov collaborated with the Germans who mobilized Cossack forces to fight against the Soviet Union in Operation Barbarossa. Following the end of the war, Krasnov was repatriated and executed by the Soviet Union. That's how cold the Soviets are. They're like, we're going to make you a citizen again just so we can kill you. That's what they does to traitors in the Soviet Union back in that time. So what does he sound like? He sounds like some of the Southern generals that fought against the United States in our Civil War, doesn't he? Sounds like he's always kind of been a problem and wanted to overthrow the government, doesn't it? And he doesn't sound any nicer than any of the, Russians that were in charge at the time and afterwards and before. He sounds just as evil, just as ruthless. He just obviously didn't have the money and numbers behind him to succeed. But what does it come down to? This name Krasnov is equivalent to traitor, a traitor who they literally executed. First, they made him a citizen again, and then they executed him. Holy fucking shit. So Donnie, according to the Russian KGB, is Krasnov, the traitor. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Because Donnie's going to go to, as far as I'm concerned, right now, he's the greatest traitor to America that's ever lived. He makes Benedict Arnold look like a saint. What Benedict did was nothing in comparison to what this orange cretin has done. And again, if Biden had done half of it, always remember, I am not you people. If a Democrat had done half of this bullshit, I would vote Republican. I promise you. That's me. I'm not you. It's not, a team sport for me. If I see a Nazi movement rising up in the liberal department, which I've never seen in America, by the way, ever, I'm going to have to move away from that. People throwing up Sikh Heils, starting concentration camps, having brown shirts stand by doors. Yeah, I'd be out real quick. I wouldn't be voting Democrat. I'd at least vote Republican once to get rid of that Hitler. Like the people did in 2020 when we got rid of our orange Hitler. And I commend you folks for doing it. If only our government would have had the fortitude, Merrick Garland. Unfortunately, he was a plant of some sort. He was a joke. He never wanted to do anything to these people. But you people did your job. You did it once in 2020. No one has the right to ask you to do it again. Nobody. So anyone that sat home because you watched Donnie skate for 4 years after he tried to overthrow the government, got people killed, almost got congressmen and senators killed, almost got the vice president killed. If you watched that and still voted for it, man, I just don't know what to tell you. Anyway, at CPAC today, Elon Musk is swinging around a chainsaw. And the pictures, let me see if I can make it brighter or something. Wow, it's like, never mind, it's already like as bright as it can go. The picture's just not that good. You won't be able to see it well. Underneath, you can see him standing there holding the chainsaw. It's a video. And here again, he's got the chainsaw kind of like in the vertical up position over his head. So while Leon's baby mamas are trying to get a hold of him on Twitter to handle their children's issues and maybe get some money because, you know, Leon ain't just going to give him a bunch of money. He needs them under his thumb. He's running around on stage at CPAC with a chainsaw and sunglasses and a gold chain as if he's some kind of gangster or something. The pastiest, softest beluga whale daddy's boy that it was ever born who was afraid to fight Zuckerberg. He running around with a chainsaw. That's pretty fucking incredible to me. Again, while his baby mamas are online on his own website begging him to talk to them because they have issues with the children they need handled. Even to hire someone just to talk to them they were looking for. And this, you know, sounds kind of bad. Over 400 monkeypox patients have fled treatment centers in South Kivu, DR Congo, with health officials admitting they have no idea where they are. 400 monkeypox people. Just, nah, it's not the apocalypse at all. A Tesla showroom was liquidated with bullets in Oregon, and the mysterious Second Amendment enthusiast left a note for Musk. Yes, these are all the pictures in one shot. And then if you go through them individually, you'll see here the front of the store looks like it was shot out. And again, I don't condone any of this kind of stuff. That this isn't what I'm about. I don't do this kind of shit. And I don't want to see this kind of shit. I didn't want to see our country turn into Russia. That's what it's turning into. You wanted the Wild West, people. People at the top, the NRA people, the other companies that allowed the talking points to turn our country into the Wild West. Well, the Wild West can come right back and bite you in the ass, son. Look at this, car's all shot up. Windows shot out. Showroom shot up. And then there was this. Someone took one of those hello name badges that people stick on their shirt, like a salesman would put on their shirt. You know what it says on it? They put it on the window. It says, "Kill Elon." Again, I don't condone any of this stuff. I wasn't happy when I saw a CEO get shot down on the sidewalk, like a week after Donnie got elected or some, or a day, I can't remember. But again, I beg the oligarchy, I beg you people at the top, please don't let our country, you don't want our country to turn into Russia. I know you think you know, just because you have a lot of money in this world, you think that bought you wisdom, or you're any wiser than the bum on the street. No, you're not. You're just greedy. That's all. You're not smart. You're not talented. You're not wonderful. None of you. You just have access to a lot of money now. Therefore, you think you're wise. And you allowed all this to play out over years. And you helped it along by voting certain ways, giving money to certain candidates, allowing certain talking points on your website that get people killed. Pro-gun talking points that get children killed, schools shot up. You all allowed this Instagram Google, YouTube, Facebook. You allowed all this pumping of the theology. Fuck it, let it turn into the Wild West. Well, CEO shot dead on the street. Tesla sales dealership all shot the fuck up with a threat on the window. Are you enjoying the Wild West? America, are you enjoying watching your children get gunned down at schools? Again, if I had kids, they'd be homeschooled like a motherfucker, baby. And again, not for the woke liberal agenda that's being taught at schools according to you idiots. No, I'd want to protect them from you idiots and your children. That's what scares me the most in America. You gun people and your children. You MAGA people and your children. You're the greatest threat to this country that's ever existed. You gave it away even. And you shouted how wonderful it was as you were giving it away. Again, after your children got slaughtered year after year in schools and elsewhere. Because, again, the NRA and the machine gave you the talking points and you ran with them and parroted them to the detriment of your own lives and your own children. And you're still all about that assault rifle, aren't you? If only you loved your children more than that gun. Maybe a lot more of those kids still be alive. What a damn shame. And, you know, again, you wanted the Wild West. Well, this is the result. A sticker on a window that has a threat on it. And a whole dealership shot the fuck up. And a CEO dead. And a bunch of your children now dead over the years. Also, the NRA and gun manufacturers and a few people in government can make a bunch of money. Are you proud of yourself? And again, the homeschool thing. I wouldn't want my kid to have to worry about being bullied by whatever one of you sociopaths are raising a sociopath and send them to my kid's school to hurt other children because you don't know how to raise a kid or treat a child or discipline a child or not spoil a child. So the rest of us in society have to deal with your fucking sociopath child raised by sociopaths. My kids would not be experiencing your child, sorry. I'm way too smart for that bullshit. Also, I wouldn't want my kids gunned down because, again, all you MAGA Christians that allege to care about your children and Jesus and God and all that good stuff, you also care way too much about them assault rifles that are made for one thing, to kill a lot of people fast. Whatever lie you tell yourself and others that it's for. No, that's all it's for, to kill a lot of people fast. And boy, does it. Your own children. So that's why I'd homeschool, because of MAGA, the cult mentality in this country. The rubes. You rubes. That's why I would homeschool my children. I would never let them step foot in a fucking school in this country. Oh, no. Only because of rubery. I wouldn't want my kid to die going to fucking gym class because you raised a sociopath. I ain't interested. I wouldn't want my kid to have to face your bully ass sociopath kid. And they're in every school across the country. There's always some kid that feels slighted by his parents or gets treated like shit by his parents and takes it out on the other kids. It's in every single school. And you know what? Rather than risk my child getting hurt by that young sociopath and the parents who could fucking care less after the kid does it, I'd keep them home. Fuck all y'all motherfuckers. Listen to this. Elon can barely form a sentence. Yes, this was after Leon ran around with the chainsaw and making fun of cutting all those jobs by waving the chainsaw around. Isn't it so funny and cute? All those people losing their jobs. Well, Leon thinks so. And then he got on the couch all gacked the fuck up with the sunglasses, thinking he's, you know, an OG or something. Mr. South African oligarch daddy's boy with an emerald mine. Yeah, so after he did the chainsaw, he gets on the couch, all gacked the fuck up. And the commentator asked him some question, and he started to try and answer it. It was just embarrassing. He couldn't form words. It was just a non-coherent nothing of an answer. It was ridiculous. And he was obviously gacked the fuck up. And no, those sunglasses don't look cool. The black MAGA hat doesn't look cool. Leon, you've never been cool in your fucking life. Even with a chainsaw in your hand. You still ain't cool. And he's just gacked out of his mind. Again, Leon Scum, who is wearing sunglasses indoors, wields a chainsaw to celebrate the tens of thousands of federal employees he's fired indiscriminately and without explanation. Indeed, that's exactly what happened. Thanks, Rubes. Jesus, when is this? How many more do I got here? All right, I got a few more. Go through them quickly. Here's Donnie back in the 80s with one of his wives landing in Russia. Was it 1987 or something? Donnie in Red Square. All the way back when he first became a traitor. Weren't those good times? It's a whole article here. I'm not going to read it. The Soviets want him to build 2 luxury hotels. I bet they do. And here they are again. Here's Donnie looking all shiny, young, 40 years old. Only like 30 rapes in, you know. Leon Scum suggests he wants to cut $500 billion from programs like Social Security and Medicare, calling them entitlements. Again, you rubes, you geriatrics. We hear the Republicans every fucking 4 years talk about cutting Social Security and Medicare and entitlements. And you hear this, even though you're on Medicare and you're taking some entitlement programs, some welfare in your old age, which is fine. You deserve it. You're living that existence. You hear a party of cultists say every 4 years, yeah, we got to look at Social Security and Medicare. You're literally your only income and your only health coverage is Medicare and Social Security, and you vote for your own fucking demise. What is wrong with you people? This time, it ain't just going to be talk. The cuts to Social Security and Medicare. These people want to loot us and you, and they don't need you anymore. They don't need your vote. They don't need your constituency. They could fucking care less. This time they really gonna do it. Guess you should have listened all those times. The GOP said, yeah, we want to go after entitlements because, we want to give more tax cuts to the rich, and we don't want people to notice. So we're gonna get rid of Social Security, Medicaid. We don't need all that stuff. We got money. We got coverage. Every Republican that would vote for this stuff, they get coverage on your dime, all free. Yeah, they come in for Social Security, Medicare. I hope that's not your only income. And again, I tried to warn you for 8 years, and so did a lot of other people. Sorry you didn't listen. And here's Leon again getting rid of community notes, being gamed by governments and legacy media. It should be utterly obvious that a Zelensky-controlled poll about his own approval is not credible. How many polls has Leon put up about his own approval when he has 80% bots and owns the website, and he's talking about a poll about Zelensky's approval? If Zelensky was actually loved by the people of Ukraine, he would hold an election. No, he is loved. Trust me. He didn't abandon his people. Of course he's loved. He knows he would lose in a landslide despite having seized control of all Ukrainian media, so he canceled the election. Yeah, because Russia, Leon, and Donnie going to pump a bunch of money and people into it to make Zelensky lose. Like kind of happened here. But let's not lift that rock and look under. That might expose some worms we don't want to talk about. Trump and must slash Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid by $1 trillion. Trump's billionaire Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick confirmed the social safety programs would definitely be slashed, if not eliminated, on Fox News, saying we have almost $4 trillion of entitlements and no one's ever looked at it before. You know Social Security is wrong. You know Medicaid and Medicare are wrong. So Trump's going to cut $1 trillion and we're going to raise $1 trillion of revenue. Do you believe that, people? Is slashing the shit out of Social Security, Medicare going to help your life? Oh, that's right. They're all going to send you a $5,000 check, right? That should cover your medical bills, right, guys? Right, Rubes? And that should cover your monthly expenses when your Social Security gets reduced or taken away, right? Right, good. Glad we're on the same page. Leon Scum's private security gets deputized. I talked about that in the beginning. And this, I believe I did. Anyway, if I didn't, who cares? Steve Bannon. Got a third Nazi salute here right in public. Now, Steve Bannon did not do the chest slap. I will admit that. But I'm sorry, the angle of the arm, the whole thing, it's exactly like the Leon picture. And Bannon did that important, and Bannon made sure he had the right camera angle and everything. Everything's contrived with these people. And guess what? Bannon was jealous that Leon was the first one to do a Nazi salute in public like that. Bannon wanted to be the first one. But Bannon does, he didn't have the ecstasy and ketamine in his system. So he kind of did a half-assed one and he didn't do the chest slap. But it was obvious. It was obviously a Nazi salute. I don't care what anyone says. Obviously. And Bannon has been an obvious white supremacist part of this whole MAGA thing since it began. And you know what Bannon's real thoughts are? He's jealous of Leon. He wants to be Leon. He wanted to be that guy that Donnie, what made co-president and dismantled everything. But him and Bannon had a little falling out. And Bannon's a little too low rent in comparison to Leon. Let's be honest. That's not what Donnie's looking for to have around him. So in my opinion, the reason Bannon gave the salute is he's trying to catch up to Leon as the hero of the white supremacist movement and Nazi movement. And Leon's making him look bad. It's that simple. So what does it really come down to for Steve Bannon? He's just jealous. He wants to be Leon. That's what he's really mad about. And that's why he gave his half-assed, almost Nazi salute after Musk gave his real one. So far, people, if you're keeping track, we had one South African beluga whale-shaped oligarch who threw up a literal Nazi salute in front of the whole world at a rally or something. Oh, Inauguration Day. No one's watching on Inauguration Day, right? Then we had a priest for the Anglican Church give a Nazi salute. And they both tried to cover it up. Leon and the priest tried to cover it up with saying some phrase like, what is it? Love goes out to you or something like that. See, that gives the game away. When you say some fake-ass phrase before you do the salute, that tells everyone you're doing the salute. And you're trying to cover it up with a fake-ass bullshit phrase or premise. So again, that's one Nazi salute. Then the Anglican priest, that's two Nazi salutes. Then Steve Bannon. Three Nazi salutes. Brown shirts, concentration camp, turning on our allies in Ukraine, Canada, everywhere, aligning with Vlad, looting and dismantling our country, promising a $5,000 check sometime in 8 years, when it's really just a $700 check. They wanted to make sure they got that number way down within hours. But hey, as long as Leon got his $440 billion, as long as you own the libs, right? It's worth the end of your country. It's worth the end of the world. It's worth the loss of your soul. I know. Make all the arguments. Make me a believer. Unfortunately for you, I'm not like you. And none of you will ever convince me that good is evil and evil is good. And that's your existence right now. You're the hand of Satan again. You need to turn away. For your own sake, I get nothing out of it. Good luck in the new Reich. Good luck in the new 1984. Keep debating it. Keep trolling it. See if that gets you anywhere but the abyss. Have a wonderful day.